Boom. We're back. What's up, y'all? It's your boy D Fred back in the building.
Boy, B Nearly was good.
Absolutely Sure Podcast. We are back today with another podcast. A lot of things to get to, a lot of things to discuss. So
Yes, sir.
let's not even
Skis.
waste no time. If you're here for the live, you're here for the replay. Salute to you. Follow the podcast, SoundCloud, Spotify, and iTunes. Search it up. D Friend, no, my man. Absolutely Sure. That's the podcast, not D Friend Daily. Absolutely Sure. SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes. Also, you want to watch the live stream, you can watch it here as well. Okay, we good. All right.
My bad.
Yeah.
I was just double checking shit.
No, we good. All right. What about you? You got anything? Any little announcements? Anything you gotta put out there real quick?
Hey man, we chilling right now. We chilling right now. How y'all doing, man? That's all that matter right now.
All right. So I do want to got a couple things, couple topics to get into, a couple things to discuss, pressing issues going on around the world. So where do we want to start off first? We want to talk about the RICOs. We want to talk about the goddamn Hunter Bidens. What do we want to get into first, man?
I think them are two good topics, honestly. Let's talk about like a young boy
Young boy
or,
getting off?
or should the men. I think them shouldn't be too long in conversations. Or should men step up in domestic violence?
Well, okay, we want to talk about the domestic violence thing. I have to reference with what I ain't just like thinking about that randomly. So over the past week, I'm sure there's been more. There's more that happened, but over the past 2 weeks or past week, I've seen two news clip footages of something of this nature. That's why I asked the question: should men be obligated to step into a domestic violence situation with somebody else? Like you and your girl going back and forth, and I'm looking like, damn, it's a little fucked up. Should I step in? Right. So I just want to play this clip real quick, and it's gonna say D Friend Daily because I was gonna talk about it, but no, cross promotion. Here we go.
Investigating a deadly shooting in DeKalb County. It happened at the gas station along Candler Road. In Channel 2, Steve Gelbach is there live. Steve, you just got an update from investigators there now. What do you know?
Oh, they're still looking for a man and a woman in a car that sped off from this gas station. They were parked at a pump around 2 a.m. this morning when police say that just a bystander here at the gas station was hanging out, saw a couple in that car fighting. He says that the woman was being beaten by that driver, and then the driver supposedly pulled a gun on the man who came up to the car to try to defend that woman because he saw that fight going on in the car. But that's, again, when they say that victim was murdered here. They were parked right here at one of these gas pumps. And then again, we know that the suspect and the woman who still may be in danger sped off from here. We don't have a good description of that car. Was only told it was a white vehicle, and we have no information on this victim. But again, it sounds like he wasn't even connected to this couple, just saw what was going on here at the gas pump, wanted to defend this woman and stepped in, and now he...
All right, so typically what we see is, or what we're told as men, like, protect women at all costs, even if it's another man abusing her, yada, yada, yada. I ain't gonna lie, man, I've been seeing a lot of these situations popping up, and it made me think, is it worth it to step in? Or are you a coward if you don't step into a situation like this?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't think you're a coward, bro, because you got to think about your family. You got to think about how crazy people is. You got to understand you don't know what you're walking into. Potentially. So if you're going to do something like that, you got to understand the risk. You got to understand, like, you need to move a lot cautious because even with cops, like, and dealing with dangerous situations, domestic violence is some of the most dangerous situations for cops because the emotions are high. They may get caught to protect somebody, but that person start getting abused, they got called on, and now that person feel a certain type of way because they still love that person. It's a very heated up moment situation when dealing with that. And respectfully, the women that just want to don't want to be circumstantial with the protect all women, you gotta understand, like, bro, there's risks that I'm like not all people gonna be willing to.
I've been looking at this shit and I'm like, I got 2 kids, I got a wife. Like, I'm not like it's cool, like it sounds good to be Mr. Hero Man and jump in and protect the woman and yada yada yada. But look what happened here. Now, this woman, she could have hopped in the car just out of fear, right? Got back in the car with the guy who shot him out of fear. But also, there's cases where they're like, I'm gonna stick with him. So I was like, you doing that, and she gonna stick with him regardless. And now you dead. The other video I saw, it was like how it was categorized as the guy was walking by, none of his business. It was happening. He walked across the street, and then he got shot in the face. And then pretty much, the video just shows the guy who got killed. His mama is running up like, my baby. So it's like that's the context of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, is it worth it? I don't know.
No,
If I see somebody getting their ass beat, I'm just call police. Hey, hey, I'm over here at the Chevron off dudes out here beating the shit out of this girl. I advise y'all to hurry up. I'm not hopping in it. Y'all do what y'all got to do. I'm gone. Because I ain't got time. Like you said, domestic violence situations, they're like, they're heated up. There's reason that's going on. Like, it's not justified why he beat her ass, but most likely they're going to go home and love each other for the rest of their life. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I want to hop into that.
Can I ask you, like, outside of that, is there any other circumstances
where you hop in?
Yeah, like, say you see somebody getting jumped or somebody getting kidnapped.
In today's society, I don't give up. People call it cowardice or whatever. Unless it's like my homies or my wife or whatever, I'm just calling the police. Because they beating the shit out of you. What make you think they're going to turn and beat the shit out of me? Because obviously you ain't going to be able to help me getting your ass whooped. So I'll go over there and try to help you. And then now I'm getting my ass whooped. I could have just fucking been driving by. Now maybe I just be on my car. Hey, y'all quit that shit. I call the police and drive off. But I don't know about getting out of my car and like, hey, misters, y'all leave them alone. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I wouldn't feel too comfortable in that situation at all. It's like,
I want to down that sword.
Even like, could we see, like, have you ever heard of like the situation where like you may know like a significant other of your friend is cheating or like may not be like faithful, but you don't want to be that. I've heard the advice to like you don't want to be the one to break it to them, because it's like more often times than not they're not gonna believe you. Yeah. More times often than not, they don't think you making shit up, or they like it's gonna be shit that you putting yourself into, or they gonna tell the person that they think that you know is cheating or is cheating. They're gonna be like, well, who told you that? Then all they're gonna start doing is attacking the person that said something. So it gets you in a lot of shit a lot of times. So it's tough because it's like, well, where do we stand up for the man when someone needs help? Because like I asked, I don't know if you heard me. I said, what about somebody getting kidnapped? Because I seen the video, this girl fighting for her life, the dude trying to pull her into the car, and like 3-4 people. But it's like they could have just been getting off of work, and he could have had a gun on them or like, what do you do?
They didn't do shit. The girl just kept hopping out the car. She just kept, as soon as he run back over, she kept hopping out the car.
Me personally, I guess I analyze the situation. She's fighting him. He's not like, he don't have a knife out on her. He don't have a gun out on her, and he's fighting her to death right now. So I probably can jump in without it, like, but even then you still taking the risk. Cause say you jump in, oh, he got a knife in his pocket, you ain't know that shit.
Yeah, he got a gun in the car.
Like, he wasn't gonna stab that girl, but he'll stab you, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so
I feel like if we on some mob mentality shit, that's a little bit different. Like if it's like,
people
say it's 3 of us at the gas station, and it's like we all like, hey, then that might be a little bit different. I mean, the guy can still pull out the gun and shoot all of us, but it's a little bit different. Like in that situation you talking about with the kidnapping, there was like 3 or 4 people standing right there. But also it's that thing of danger, like, okay, yeah, we may be getting this girl out. He might pull out a gun and just kill all of us. So it's like, it's a situation.
Does the situation change for you if you're like, if you have a gun on you?
Yeah, that definitely. I feel a little bit more protected. I feel like, because I can pull a gun out and be like, let her go. And he's either going to get in the car, run off, or he's going to pull for a gun, and I'm going to just have to shoot him. Because I feel like I'm just fine shooting you. You're literally trying to kidnap this person. Like, I'm not going to go to prison for killing you if you do die or not.
Yeah. Now, I'm just curious.
I don't know. That's a tricky one. Like if you see somebody get kidnapped, that's kind of like, I guess getting beat on is crazy too. But it's like when I see these stories, like the dude gonna shoot you, or sometimes the girl, like you said in situations with the police, like the girl, you got called because he was beating your ass, but now you mad the police want to fight the police because they taking him out the home. He was beating your ass. I was like, you don't really know when to hop in, when to not hop in. That was something I was curious about. Is there a time when you just say, you know what?
I remember.
I'm gonna leave that in God's hands. That ain't for me to deal with.
I remember a very specific time. Like I'm driving like on some back roads or some shit, and like this black dude is like irate at these black kids. I don't know what the fuck they did. I don't know nothing. I feel like, bro, should I get out? But then I think about like, what's the scenario? What, they were like breaking into his house and he just getting on their ass, and it's the light of the shit. But he was like on their ass. I'm like, damn, this kind of look weird.
Yeah,
but it's like, well,
crazy.
I don't know what the reason for him to be this mad, and I don't know if I just want to jump into this situation either. This could be his kids. This could have been his kids. Yeah. It felt like it was random kids for me just looking at the situation, but they were doing some shit that they shouldn't have been doing. So it's like, you never really know the whole story, bro. It's just, and I felt those moments where it's like, I think I want to do something. I want to step in, but even if I see like 2 dudes fighting, I don't know if I'm hopping in the middle of that shit no more.
I'm in 2 dudes fighting.
Like
I said, unless like the dude just like he's stomping on his head, you be like, Hey, yo, all right, bro, he good. He done. It's over. It's over. Like, I'm not running over there on some tackle a dude. Like, cause I tackle him. My dumb ass missed the tackle. He's like, I'm gonna beat your ass too. He started kicking my ass. Like, I ain't got time for that shit, man.
Now you on world snoring shit.
Yeah, I got time for that shit because I ain't trying to jump in and help him fight. I'm just trying to get you to stop stomping this goddamn head in. But now I'm on my ass. It look like this dude just beat the shit out of two people.
Yeah, and I feel like obviously the situation can change if you're on armed and you talking about somebody you love, or like even if like you're in the life of this situation.
If it's somebody you love, it's all bets off. Like it doesn't matter. Like it could be like 10 people on one person. If I fuck with them, like I got it. I feel like I got like it's like that's different.
And I feel like it's like if you was on a flight or some shit and then you feel some terrorism, you got some knives or some shit. Like, we got to charge these niggas.
Like, that's like for death.
Yeah, we got to charge these niggas.
They fuck with me now. That's a different situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you on that, somebody could be fuck with somebody on a plane, like, hey, you on this plane, I'm about to blow this bitch up because you on here. But, like, motherfucker, I'm on here too, so you're affecting me. So, like, I feel like I got, I have this innate, responsibility to get my ass up and handle this shit as well.
Yeah,
It's just a question because I was thinking about it. Like when we think about the video you sent me, I think you sent me the video of the thing that's been going viral over the past week. Like the Andrew Tate guy and the big Twitch streamer XQC that was debating about. Well, one I saw they was debating about should a man does he have an innate like thing to protect his woman in any circumstance, right? I think as a man, yeah, you should you had that thing to protect your woman. But I get what both of them was saying. But I feel like in the grand scheme of like life and manhood, most people are gonna look at XQC like, oh, he's tripping. Oh, he's a pussy. But I see what did you watch that? Was that the one you
Yeah. I watched it.
I see what he was saying. Like, no, I'm not gonna go down and run downstairs and possibly get myself killed because I get killed and she'll get killed. I'm gonna look at the most tactical way to get out of the situation. Like, hey, let's jump out the back window. Like, I get that as like if you're thinking tactically about it. But most people, their reaction is gonna be, oh no, I'm gonna be the one to go downstairs. Just like at my house. Like, if I hear something in the middle of the night, the dog is barking, like, why the fuck is he barking? I don't be like, hey, we got this back window. We can just sneak out of here. No, I got to go and see what the fuck's going on.
Whether Do you think, just putting it like, we could be saying, I'm really talking about SQC or whatever, whatever the fuck his name is. But do you think Carla parents would give a fuck about your tactical approach because she had more shooting time than you? When you got to look her in her parents' face, your children's face, and everybody that loves that woman face, and you be like, nah, I sent her downstairs. Well, I just waited.
No,
how the fuck?
No, look crazy. Like he's trying to be like a super technical, like, but in those situations, you're not thinking about that. Like, well, you did shoot better at the range last week, so you don't even think about shit like that in situations like that. I feel like as a man, it's not even like a thought; it's just like an instinct. It feels like to protect your family.
If I'm gonna go downstairs and my girl that cold, I got great backup. But I ain't letting her lead. I'm not.
Like, let me take like 20 steps first. Like, we're going downstairs, right? So you stand like at the ledge and you watch me walk down. If you see niggas come blowing and you just be my top, sniper type, if you really get shoot like that, you know what I'm saying? Because either way,
make sure they don't come upstairs with the kids.
Like he said, if I die, they're just gonna come upstairs anyway. So you might as well be standing on some tactical shit on the ledge if they do, because if they shoot me, they're gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? Then they're gonna have to look up. You just start shooting them. You know what I'm saying? From that vantage point, that's how I look at it. If you're gonna go that route with it,
and maybe they run out instead of coming up the stairs because they ain't trying to push that. So I can understand some shit like that, but I feel like kind of we're gonna kind of dive into that a little bit. I feel like he's just kind of like a coward. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like he one of them dudes that was pushing kids down, pushing women down during the Titanic. I feel like he was one of them dudes. I feel like he one of those dudes that can justify starving another portion of society just so his portion of society can eat, and being like, it's okay because it's all about survival. It brings up the question to me about the Joker, and that when he put the prisoners on the boat and then the regular civilians on the boat, and they both had the bomb, and he was banking that one of them was gonna blow it up due to the human nature and pressure.
Yeah.
Instead, whatever. So I feel like
him on the boat. They said, "Fuck them prisoners, blow their ass up."
I feel like he one of them type of niggas.
Yeah. But I ain't gonna cap though. If I'm on the boat and it's like, hey, it's just regular people, and I got murderers and whatever over there. My mental instinct is, you tell me you have prisoners over there. Like I said, all prisoners aren't innately bad people, whatever. Some people in there for circumstantial things. But I don't know who's gonna be in control of that button. It might be a sadistic murderer in control of that button. It's like fuck the people, hit the button. So I just on that type of thing, I think it's a little bit different. I say hit the button.
No, the Joker was wrong in that instance, but
Yeah,
there's other instances say
hit the button.
both
I say hit the button.
The
Titanic one makes sense. Like how he hopped over them people and fell his ass to the boat, and I think some people didn't get to go on that boat. I think it was the rich guy or something like that. He hopped into the boat, said, "Fuck that, y'all are peasants. I'm rich. I'm better than y'all. I'm hopping in this boat." But I mean, it was interesting. It was just interesting thing that was going on. So, because I mean, that guy, like, bro, that guy is all over my timeline. He's everywhere. Bro, he's all over my TikTok. I probably watched like that video on YouTube, and I'm probably not even searching for him on TikTok. They just popped up on TikTok. But now it's like every 4 videos is something of him talking, that little music in the background. And I guess like we were talking about earlier when Kevin Samuels died, who is gonna come through and kind of like it's a space that's open, whether you like him or not. That's a space that's open. And it looks like because I've heard of him because of Fresh and Fit. Right, I've seen him on there before. I never watched it, but I've seen like his name in their titles before. But now I'm like he's become like this bigger than life type of phenomenon. So it's like a different level. Like I mean, to me, he's kind of the same. Just like with all the like kind of like I don't even think he considers himself like a red pill guy, but just like people like that. He says some shit that you can look at and be like, it's kind of all right, that's a little extreme. But then when they talk about other certain things, you kind of like, okay, yeah, that's right. Like, work hard, do this, do that. This is how life kind of works. Like, I don't know, but you can easily see how people like that can get, like we say, they get polarized and they make them radioactive because they'll pull like a crazy, like, I don't even think, let me be honest, I don't even think this is a crazy take that he had. He said that if my girl make an OnlyFans, right, I should get 80% of that. Some shit like that. The people that sounds
that
crazy.
Nigga said even if God damn it, Kerry. Even if she make $2, I need $1.
Like people say that sounds crazy, but when you break down I get the logic. Like I said, I've never been in a situation, so I don't really care about that scenario. But I can see why somebody would say that. Like, you my girl, you know what I'm saying? Like people say she's your property. She can't do like, bro. She get naked on the internet and all that. Like, all right, bro. For some type of gain on my end, of like, I got to be a shameless man because I know in society we got to live in this world where women can do whatever they want, even in a relationship. Like, no. That ain't how it works in most society. And most men don't even think like, even the men that act like they would like that, they don't truly like that. They just have to accept it because that's just what I guess.
One of the dudes that was on there, I seen him kind of do a little reaction thing that was after. He was like, bro, nobody wants that girl that go to the club every week or every other week. No dudes wants that, even though they like. So it's like a lot of dudes, even if you don't have options, like it's been times I ain't have options, bro. But I still like stood on my morals and being like, I'm not gonna settle for like trash. Yeah. But I feel like some dudes don't have options and then they'll still settle, and they'll settle for a woman that don't respect them. They'll settle for a woman that entertaining other dudes. Like that nigga girlfriend was literally dancing on other dudes in front of him.
I've seen that video. Was that a video recently, or was that a video just of like her in the past? I heard them talking about it. I didn't know if they said if it was now or if it was like an old video.
For the contents, they tried to make it seem they tried to make it seem recent, but I'm not recent? Sure. Okay. Yeah. Regardless, like they
my girl won't be doing shit like that.
Wouldn't be my girl.
Like even married or not, that would be like if I'm even dating you for a couple months, like you wouldn't be doing it. It's not even, like I hate that they make it like it's a control thing. Like, oh, she won't be doing it because of what? You control it, not because that's not why the fuck would I want to deal with it?
If she want to stay with me, she's not gonna be doing that. Now, if she want to move on.
On the flip side, you wouldn't want me like humping up. Like you wouldn't want me to be that guy and that's your friend dancing on me. Would you want that if you're gonna flip the positions? Like, no, nobody wants that. So I don't get why certain things are like hot, like not even hot topics, but why they're like controversial. Like some things aren't really debatable, and I don't think that is necessarily debatable. Now, like I said, people can get mad. Oh, well, he says he's going to take 80% of her money. He's pimping her out, yada, yada, yada. But it's like, bro, you my girl. First of all, like I said, I wouldn't even be in a situation to have somebody even doing that. But it's like, you wilding out. What's going on here?
100%.
I mean, like I said, some shit may be a little crazy, but a lot of things I do see that go viral aren't even necessarily really crazy things that he's talking about.
And I don't even think
it's kind of like commonsensical things that he's saying about working hard. Like, even like the whole red pill shit of like, I don't know why people even deny that women want guys that are successful, status. Like, why is that even debatable? Like, why they like that's not a true thing? I just don't get that aspect of it. Like, we could say like some things like, okay, that one don't make sense. Oh, a woman can never go out there. Whatever the fuck some people say, like I get that,
these
but
dudes,
that one don't make sense. Come on,
they'll try to twist it in so many ways. So say these women want that, then they be like, oh, they're manipulating and they don't love you. It's like women may like those things and may get attracted to you, but they can still love you because you have those things. They be like, oh, well, he just have money. Oh, he's just successful. That's the only reason. No, a woman can love you for a bunch of other things as well. And they try to make it seem like it's just a money thing. And that was his big argument in talking about the monetary value and things like that. And like, how can you put a monetary value on a relationship? But it was like, nigga, that's a hypothetical. Get out of your feelings. That nigga was so soft to me.
Who XUC?
Yeah.
He talks so fast and crazy. It's like, all right, bro, relax, man. It's like we just talking, man. Like I get you don't agree because like I said, you ain't gotta agree with everybody about every little thing and this and that. But like, it ain't even like nothing the nigga saying is like super crazy. Like I see them talking about how like they're like he's super dangerous because of incels and and all that type of shit like that. But it's like,
you think
cheese in the motherfucking chat.
You think Andrew Tate supports the idea of incels and the things that they believe in? Incels will hate Andrew Tate. You want to know why? Because the nigga from H1 whatever,
H3,
he will fits more of an incel personality and how he dresses and don't really care about his physical appearance. He will fit more. Most people will hate Andrew Tate because
we live near each other. Well, I mean, relative, I guess Houston, but I don't think it's far. But we live near each other. Yeah. What is it, bro? Hold on. We gotta talk about this because Bryce, we kind of split some. You feel me? Let's just talk real quick.
No, you ain't, D-Frank, you ain't gotta worry about that.
I was like, we split some, my nigga. Let's go out here.
You ain't gotta worry about that.
Nah, I'm fucking with you. But nah, do what you gotta do. Anyways,
send it to D-Friend again. You already got everything. That's my guy, bro.
Everything?
You already got it. You ain't got to even worry about. We ain't got to go through YouTubes and trying to.
Just hit me. I get it. Then we meet up. We deliver. That's how we do. We boys. You feel me?
Nah,
anyways, salute to you. Like every time this shit happens, throw me off track. I say, I don't be knowing what to say. I be confused and shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyways,
nigga be having nigga blushing and shit.
NBA young boy. NBA young boy. NBA young boy.
Charles,
salute to him. He beat the feds, so we gotta give him a little. I don't have any claps, but congratulations to him. I said when I was looking at the thing, I saw the guy talking about the case that looked a little bit weak. Oh, in this rap video, he talked about F and N, and there's a picture of a fake F. What his prosecutor said that this is an airsoft gun F and N on the plane. That's not a real gun. You can see how they both look very similar, but they're trying to use that picture lyric shit to get him up out of here. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I knew that wasn't going to really. There's no way that could work because I feel like when you do that, it sets a precedent throughout all courts that any rap lyric you rap like I had 10 pounds of weed and I get charged for 10 pounds of weed. Well, in this rap lyric, he said he had 10. Like, come on, bro, you can't do that. It's like you got to have more evidence than that. But I feel like that was just a way for the justice system to try to figure. They're trying to. I don't think they're necessarily trying to get the rappers like Bryce. He and this happy mother.
I'm hella distracted. I ain't gonna lie. I'm listening. I'm hella distracted.
But anyways, it's like
I'm listening though. Swear to God.
It's like they're not even necessarily knowing that it's gonna work. I feel like they're just doing it to push the line to see when it will work. Because when it does work, then the floodgates open. Oh, you can use this on anybody.
That's the only reason he was on house arrest though.
No, he got the case he on house arrest for. I think is in Baton Rouge. He got another gun case, but that one's similar. That one's like there was 15 guns. But they was at a video shoot. Another 15 people got arrested in that whole thing. So it's like, okay, there's 15 guns here, 15 people plus me got arrested. How do you put the guns on me? Like, you know what I'm saying? How do you know that's mine? I don't see how you get that charged.
Yeah.
I don't see how that goes through. Like, unless you found it on me, like personally, like on me, how do I get convicted of that? I just don't see it.
It's kind of similar. Do you feel like Kodak is like a bullshit charge? Because they tried to give him a trafficking.
I mean, I think they do the trafficking just for the amount that he has. I don't think he has the amount because he's actually trying to sell dope. He probably got that amount just because, rappers, they move around, they do their type of shit. Yeah. And he had a lot of money.
He had more money than he had drugs.
You know what I'm saying? He's going to have cash, not because he's a drug dealer, because he's a rapper. So I don't even understand how that correlates. But the deal with the Kodak situation for me is like, I just feel like it's
stupid.
You get too many chances, right? He got out, he got arrested before, right? And then he got out and he was doing his thing. He got sentenced, right? He got pardoned by Trump. Boom, you out of prison. You good. I think pardons either get you out, they kind of wipe it off. I don't know. But you're not in prison no more because of that. You got your case up in North or South Carolina. They say you raped the girl, the sexual assaulted her. That got dropped down to a lesser charge of just something. I think you got like probation for that. You got away from that. You was facing 30 years with that. You got away from that. You getting so many chances by the law, bro. It's like you got to just chill. There's no reason, like we said, there's no reason a rapper should be running around carrying that many drugs. Now, if you need that many drugs around you, if you're got now, I don't.
Well, it's not that 30 oxy is like a bottle of pills.
Was it? I don't know drug shit. So
it's like like 30 would be like a. They didn't say like 30 pounds. They said like 30 pills. So that'd be like, I mean, in the scheme of like how much they could charge you for not being prescribed to you, that may be a lot. But when you think about that, just like that's like me having an ounce of weed. I feel like that's not really a big amount of. That's why I said trafficking kind of crazy, but
yeah.
But the grander scheme is, bro. Come on, why are you moving with that much drugs?
I feel like with him at that point, it's either they're just gonna try to get you just to get you, or he got money. He's gonna have a good lawyer. It's gonna get dropped down to like minor possession, misdemeanor, and kicked out of court. Because you can't really charge it. It's like we're gonna charge a rapper for having money. Like he's a rapper. Like there's plenty of videos of him having money. You could probably have a video of you going to a concert, getting your back end out of a brown bag. They probably gave you $50,000. Like it's like too many circumstances. I just don't understand why. I mean, I guess what you're saying to me kind of makes sense. I think I was thinking of it like a little bit more dramatically. Like he had baggies full of pills, but if he had like a pill bottle, although it may not be prescribed to you, it's like, am I trafficking or did I just probably illegally purchase these for myself? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's a way lesser charge than trafficking.
Yeah. Trafficking too just sounds crazy. Like when you think of drug trafficking, I think like, Pablo Escobar is like people like that.
I think it implies you cross state lines too.
I don't know. I think it's like they're just. I don't know. Maybe it's just drug running over a certain amount.
Because
it's like I guess that'd be intent to distribute.
Yeah, that's what that usually is. So I think he was crossing the border with that amount on him. But then how do you even prove where he bought that shit though?
It's either that or the prescription bottle he bought. And I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. But it's either that or the prescription bottle he had has a different like state or something on it.
Probably so.
They say Texas or New Jersey, whatever the fuck it would say. It don't say Florida, where I assume he got arrested.
So my next question would be like, do you think they just so addicted to a point where they just can't smoke weed or get some alcohol? Like they just gotta have that on them?
Maybe they just be going through so much. They got so much like early stage life trauma that no amount of money, no amount of success, no amount of women, no amount of whatever can really like heal that pain that they got. I mean, it's just too much for them.
Yeah, not doing it. I mean, you can heal, but they're not clearly going about it the right way and shit like that.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It's like I feel bad for them, because like I always look at like I always want to come on and be like, this fucking idiot. What an idiot. Who would have an opportunity in a lifetime like that? They just want to piss it away by doing, but like I don't know mentally what motherfuckers be going through.
Like because for
so
me, like
hard for me to even do some or say some shit like that.
Like if I knew I could get like 10 to 20 years for like smoking in another state or having weed in another state, and it's not as like I might not get into trouble because it's so like easy to keep it at home. I'm not. Yeah. I'm gonna just keep my shit at home, and I'm just gonna have to sober it up. But I'm not about to risk that. I mean, do you think they like rate a risk and reward? Because I remember Bill used to talk about Bill used to not care about getting speeding tickets and wearing like seatbelts and shit because he's like, they don't even pull me over and they do whatever. I get that shit, whatever. Yeah. So it's like, do you think they think like that? Where it's like, bro, I got lawyers, I got money.
Yeah,
I get out of it.
They live in their own like world. I'm sure at this point, like they're in their own like. I feel like the world of the rich and the famous is a completely different world outside the realm of thinking that we think in. So they kind of think they're kind of beyond that. But my thing with that is, you thinking that you're beyond that. How could you think you're beyond that when you've been locked up multiple times already? Like you can't think because you've been locked up multiple times while you're famous. So there's no way you could think that you're beyond that at that point.
So I got another question. Do you think they like just being in the headlines, whether it's like shit like that or what? Like, do you?
Well, I don't think niggas like getting arrested. Because I don't know if they like to,
But like, let's be real. Let's be real. Like, some niggas look at that shit like bragging rights. We don't have that mentality, so it's gonna be impossible for us to kind of be in that mindset. But some of them look at it as like, I'm in the headlines again. Look at me, I'm a street nigga. Like, I
mean, it adds to the allure of you. Like, you get like this NBA Youngboy was already on top of the world, right? He was already one of the biggest new artists, had the most loyal fan bases. The fact that he beat a Fed case only makes that name have much more of a mystique around it. Like, hey, the stat people keep throwing out is like the Feds got a 98% conviction rate. And Young Boy's the one person. It's like it adds to the allure, but realistically, it's cool. It's cool in hindsight when you beat it, but while you in it, I don't think nobody wants to be in there because Young Boy with this gun case, he was facing 10 years in prison. Like I don't know if you want to
No,
live in
I
that.
I don't think like a Young Boy. I think, for instance, like something like body like Kodak, a little drug charge here and there, like they don't like it would just keep like
Keep the bad boy image alive a little bit.
yeah, not no shit where you like facing RICO charges and shit like that. Now I don't think
Yeah.
that they're that desperate. I don't think they're that
Yeah.
desperate at all. But
I mean, just hopefully, I mean, it's either gonna go to it. Either it's gonna be to a point where you're like, okay, I need to like really figure this shit out and not get locked up anymore and not get arrested, or I'm just gonna fucking keep messing up, and eventually, the one last chance is gonna be the last chance, and I'm gonna get it. Not saying he's gonna get like a life sentence or something, but I'm gonna get some type of significant time to where when I get out, this whole music thing really won't even matter.
yeah, I will say this to give them a little slack. I don't be hearing about rock stars getting pulled over with coke. I don't be hearing rock stars getting pulled over, and they do that shit just as hard because they basically live like rock stars. Then that's what my mindset kind of went to. So
Salute flying low in the building.
when you look at these country stars, when you look at these CEOs,
but I wonder if they move smarter. I wonder if they like let the roadies you hold it. Like I'm not gonna like Van Halen, whoever the fuck that, like the leader there, I'm not gonna hold it. The roadies are gonna hold it. Or this person, y'all are gonna have it.
But for instance, the cops go to extreme lengths to tie it to the person that made, like Young Boy with the guns,
Most famous person, yeah.
When it comes to the black people, let's make this a headline. They're not trying to make the average white artist a headline.
Ozzy Osbourne, if he's like around, they're probably not gonna be like, no, we're gonna put it on Ozzy. They're like, get it put it on the roadie. Let Ozzy go. We fuck with Ozzy. That's what you're saying.
And we know how hard they do drugs, bro. Let's not play around. They do acid and shit like that. And I don't like think that as hard as some of this other shit. But let's be real. If a cop pulled that over, they shouldn't be looking at it at the same lens that I'm looking at it as. Yeah. So that's one thing too. It's like they kind of live like rock stars. So my thing, it kind of tie into the Trey Songz conversation. It kind of tie into the Trey Songz conversation that I wanted to bring up. Is like how it's easy for them to get entrapped into like a toxic or even a predatory mentality because it was a girl that was shown trying to spike his drink. Is it 100% confirmed? No.
You want to move on to Trey Songz thing? I'm at the right time, so I'm trying to get real professional here with that shit.
I got you. And then there was another time where the girl just tried to get into his section, right?
Uh-huh.
So my thing is like, how many times do like they come across groupies that just throw themselves that
all the time?
So it's easy for them like to get, like you said, lost in that world of being that rock star, thinking that everyone loves them, and then they start doing certain things to get in certain situations where all women don't feel that way. But they like, you be real, bro. There's thousands of men and women that throw themselves at these artists, bro, and they feel like I'm on top of the world. Yeah. And like I said, it's easy for them. Now, I know Trey Songz a nasty nigga, but so let me add to this as well. Think about the toxic shit that Trey Songz have seen as far as like how people do drugs, how women don't give a fuck. They'll do all type of shit for them, like nasty
shit. Drink his piss, all kind of like crazy,
all type of shit.
Yeah.
And they get caught up in that world of Hollywood and then thinking, because other people trying to get in his world. So, he think they down just like everybody else. Or they think that the rules don't apply to them because they see everybody else break these rules and they feel like, well, if I'm gonna start just like them, like I just can see how it's easy for these celebrities to get caught up in that easily.
I be thinking that because I be like, I always think like, why do celebrities continue to go after the same women? Like they all circulate around the same women, right? But I was thinking like, why don't they like if I'm in Houston? Like, I know regular girls in Houston, right? There's women that are beautiful. There's women that are out here that have a name. Why don't mess with them girls? But I'm like, maybe because those girls ain't as gung-ho to be up on them as we would assume they would be, right? Like, there will be some fine girls that we know from high school, college, whatever. You might assume that if she see Trey Songz, she gonna go crazy. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe it's the same old groupie girls. Like, when I hear
maybe if he courted her for real, but not just
he gotta try. He gotta try. Yeah, not like just one night fucking you in Houston, I'm a fuck. That's why I guess that's why I shouldn't get confused anymore when I see people always run like Chief Keef's baby mama her name's Slim Danger. I don't know if you ever seen her. Maybe you can look her up after if you haven't seen her. Not the greatest looking woman, but
Slim baby.
She Slim Danger. She's notated that she slept with so many of these different guys, but it's maybe because she's just easy. And it's like, this is easy. I know she's gonna let me smash, so I'm gonna just roll with it. This one of Chief Keef baby mamas, if you find her picture.
Oh yeah, I seen her before. Damn.
Yeah.
She beat. I ain't know that was his baby mama.
Yeah.
I remember her a long time ago. She went viral.
Yeah. She was like running around 6'9" or some shit. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, so it's not that I'm trying to make an excuse for them, but the world that they in is nasty. And they do a lot of nasty shit with people that's consensual.
Yeah.
And then there's people that get in there not knowing what world they in and get, put in situations where they feel like they've been violated. And for an average day like one of them, that's what they do all the time.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. Maybe like I'm reading what Flying Low said. Do you think it's because they wasn't getting women like that, so now they had to pick? They so goofy, but it's like, I mean, that
you get desensitized. You get desensitized.
It's like sex isn't anything to you at that point. When you think about probably how many women they slept with, how many threesome, foursome, fivesome, with just them and other women they probably had. So it's like there's nothing to them. They look at every women like that who come up on them like you just this groupie. So it's like if you got a girl who you fuck with, I would assume, like I said, if Trey Songz mess with one of these girls, she drinking his pee, she let him do whatever she wants to him, and she cool with it, he might start to believe that any woman would be cool with them doing that together. Mm-hmm. And then he run into him. They're like, "Well, what the fuck you doing?" He like, "What you mean? This girl let me do this one, this one, this one." I thought this was the world we was living in.
For instance, like me, I used to be called Blitz.
That boy used to be a wild boy.
And I ain't do wild shit. I just
not like Trey.
But niggas don't understand context. So I used to shoot my shot and not give a fuck. But say like you kiss on a girl, you kiss on her cheek, because like girls be feeling you, she feeling you already. You being bold, right? And you do that to, test women that, like fuck with you or want to fuck with you. That's how you push the envelope and tell them that you're ready or whatever, right? Then you do that to a girl that like in your section and shit, she's showing you attention. But how do you differentiate between a regular girl that's gonna do anything to be with you versus a girl that's just in a section and thinking like, oh, I might try this out. I'm kind of green in the eyes.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like he might grab on her butt. He may kiss on her, fondle her, because that's what he do to all the other women that love that shit.
Yeah.
And now that's a sexual harassment case just like that because, well, she was in the section. She even tried to get in the section. So I'm thinking she was down just like every other girl that begged to get in the section. Yeah. Oh, shit. She wasn't down with the same games. And boom.
And that's where they warp reality, get them niggas into trouble.
Yeah. And yeah, I it's similar to what, I don't want to give Trey Songz that much leeway and other niggas like this, but it's similar to what
he said that boy was wild, I can already tell.
Malcolm X or Muhammad Ali said. Muhammad Ali said it. He was like, how do I trust, like if there's a snake in the garden and some of them not poisonous or whatever, but there's a whole bunch of snakes mixed in, he was like, do I just close the door or do I try to cipher through what snakes are good snakes and bad snakes? I close the door and don't let no snakes in.
Yeah.
Essentially that same analogy is like all these women to him kind of look the same. Like if you like, do you really have that much time? Do you really have that much mental capacity to be deciphering every time a woman come across you if they a good snake that's in your type of world that's down to do your shit or not? Especially when they all look the same down there. They all kind of dress the same, but yeah, they not all down to go for sure.
Yeah. That's the typical, when you watch these movies that are like, obviously all movies are Hollywood movies, but movies that depict like entertainment world, you see that a lot. Like there's a girl who may be flirty with a guy and then they go back to the hotel room. Now you can have an argument, should a girl be going to the hotel room with a guy if you had whatever. But then when he started trying to get up on her, he thinking that every time I bring her to my hotel room, we getting it on, and she not. But I think a lot of these guys, they be like, I'm so used to it, fuck it, I'm gonna just take it. Nobody's gonna believe you if you say I raped you or whatever.
It could be that.
That's how you see it in the movies. It'd be like, oh no, I didn't want to do that. But you was feeling on me downstairs? They get to doing all that weird shit? But I just don't get it. It's like if you Trey Songz, like I don't know, I could put it on. I don't give a fuck if he's nasty, he's nasty. But like, if you're this super famous person, like I said, I'm not super famous, so maybe I just don't understand that world. I just can't see myself doing it. Like, you're gonna go to the next city tomorrow. And there's gonna be probably one of these groupie hoes that's gonna let you do whatever you like. Why even take that risk? I just don't get why take that risk.
If he's pushing through and she fighting it, that's crazy. But what about you? You get all other girls that say no, but then they down.
If a girl tell me no, I'm done.
No, I understand that being smart and being in the position of a Trey Songz or any man, that's what you need to. That's how you need to move. But I'm saying,
you said no, sweetie. Okay, put your clothes. At that point too, just if you say no, I'm sexually charged right now, and I'm trying to. If you say no, you don't want to do nothing. Respectfully, I mean, I wouldn't try to treat you like no or nothing. But there's really no reason for you to be in my room anymore. You know, you could just go downstairs. Here's $300. Get your Uber. Going on, sweetie. You go ahead.
Drake is a good example of some shit that came out with him recently, where he kept asking and making sure he got consent because of the times that we're in.
Yeah.
And so I that's the way to go. I don't think that I'm arguing, but my point is him being toxic, him being in that nasty environment where they all type of people play them games like, oh, I'm not gonna do it, but then they do act like a hoe. I've never done this before. Then she's in a sixsome with all the other bitches acting like.
Yeah.
So for Trey, it's like, oh well, women tell me all the time they don't normally do this and shit like this to try to make it seem like I should wife them or something like that. So of course, what is it like?
Well, I think if it's different if it's like, hey, let's get it on, and you're like, oh, I don't normally do this. You take your shirt off. That's different because you're engaging in it. When you said no, I'm thinking she's like, no, I don't want to do this.
Oh no,
you're talking about like the acting innocent, but while still being into.
But so I've been in situations where you still be kissing and shit, and y'all still be touching on each other, but she's like, no sex.
Yeah, that's fine.
Then a dude like Trey, he like, man, this is what women always say, but we end up having sex anyways.
Yeah,
because I've been there. I'm like, oh, the girl.
Well, let's keep it about that. This might be controversial. Girls can change their mind from a no to a yes in this sexual apparatus. Just if you believe that a girl could change her mind from a yes to a no, then you would have to think they could change their mind from a no to yes. Maybe you still want that verbal yes, but if you're doing stuff with a girl and she's like no sex, but say start like eating out, right? Some girls, you can eat them out really good. They're like, hey, fuck that. Fuck me. You know what I'm saying? So it can change.
They'll be like, you can eat me out, or they'll be like, they wouldn't mind that. And then they'll be like, well, no, I've had that happen to me too. Where they're like, yeah, you know.
Like, now I want to fuck. Like, all right, now I want to fuck. You did a good job. Let's fuck. Like, they can change. And not say that it can't. Like, you can have an initial no, and then y'all do foreplay, and then the initial no turns into a yes. But it's also a different situation than, I guess, what we're really even discussing.
But that's all I was thinking about, how, like, it's easy for people to get caught up, because you gotta think, bro, groupies are nasty, bro. Like, we even like fuck groupies. They like fucking with strippers. They be fucking with escorts and shit. Like they may not call them escorts. Like you said, they all fuck with the same girl. They give her a bag or something. She basically an escort, right? She connected.
Basically.
So what was I saying? Fuck. Oh, how ingrained and how nasty these women do. Like a woman like what's the name? Superhead. How she'll leave out the house for Tyga or Lil Wayne, and she's sitting next to a dude or sleeping next to her husband.
That's
like so when you get around these type of women, it's easy. Cops do the same shit. They're around predominantly the most violent type of people, and they deal with the most violent black people. So that's what they accustomed to seeing. They start to think all black people are like that. Is it stupid? Of course. Yeah. Is it don't have any big picture? Of course. But you can see how people can get caught up in that world, especially when you're surrounded by groupies. Most of the women be prostitutes and gold diggers.
For sure.
So they trying to get up on you. You trying to get something from them, and you fine with that exchange. Most of the people that you come in contact with, fine with that exchange. Same with Harvey Weinstein. Not trying to get this nigga no fucking leeway, but I'm pretty sure it was some women that was willingly trying to get into.
I suck dick to be on the Titanic. It was wrong for him to use his power, yes, but there's also people who's like, yeah, fuck it, I'll suck your dick to get on the Titanic.
And did he also probably put women in bad situations that didn't want to do that, and he was of course, probably so.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, and that's the thing. That's the culture that we don't understand because we're not a part of that shit.
Speaking of, and I want to move on from Trey Songz. So speaking of cultures, you'll understand. And when you said about the Harvey Weinstein thing, it just made me think. Did you hear about Elon Musk's daddy?
No.
So Elon Musk's dad, from what I read, is 76 years old, right? And he just had a baby with his stepdaughter, who's 35. And he's been raising this stepdaughter since she was 4 years old. Ain't that some sick shit? Like, obviously, it's not his real daughter, But I could imagine raising a little girl from 4 years old, now she's 35, and having a kid with said girl. Like, obviously, there's nothing illegal there. They're not really your daughter, no blood, but that's crazy, right? Like, I'm not tripping, right? That's crazy.
It's crazy. I'm trying to think of ways that it's not, but it's nothing coming to my mind.
Obviously, like I said, she's of age. She's not your biological daughter, so there's no incestuous things going on. But you got, like, if I'm raising a little girl from, like, if I step in as a stepfather at a young girl, she's 3. I'm in no point in my life I'm ever gonna look at her like, oh, you know what? She's not really my daughter. I get sex with her. Like, bro, you raised her.
So my mind always goes to the extreme, just like most people. So I'm thinking, like, nigga, when did you start getting attracted to her? Was it
when did she start having these vibes?
But then there's life. So say he raised her, like, and we're not getting a full thing to a certain age, but then, like, after a certain while, they wasn't having the same relationships or whatever. I don't know how you get into that. I don't know how you get into that, but I'm just saying maybe he wasn't attracted to her all of her life
until she turned like 30. You know,
yeah, maybe something happened at 30 where, like, they was having a great talk and he was like,
"Wow, you're kind of interesting. You kind of cute, but it's still crazy."
Cause my mind think it's like, nah, it's something been deep seated in there from the
jump.
You've
been messing with her since she was a kid or something.
Hey, but this is what I tell y'all in general: keep y'all children away from motherfuckers.
But that's her stepdaddy, so it's like you don't even know. It's like, what the hell?
As a young girl, it's easy for her to be impressionable and, like, to see him, like, as a person that, like, it's easy for her to fall into that.
Let me say this real quick too. I don't just look
at
him. It can
feel
crazy.
Predatory.
I look at her crazy as well.
No, like, I don't know.
Like, what? The nigga been raising since it's like your daddy. Like, you want to sleep with? It's like, what? That's crazy. I mean, but I've seen this thing happen before. Like, obviously I have a wife, so, you know, I watch the shows that she likes to watch, right? And sometimes they can be entertaining. They're funny, little cat fight women and everything. So there's a show called not Beverly Hills. What's it called? Real Housewives of Salt Lake City or something like Utah, where, like, the Mormons and shit are at. So this lady, in that kind of similar situation, she married her grandfather, right? Not her biological grandfather, right? Not her, like, you know, like, her grandma was married to her actual grandfather. He died, and then the new guy married her grandma. So when her grandma died, the grandma, I guess, wanted her to continue, like, she wanted to give all the stuff to her granddaughter, like the will, like, hey, you have this, take over my church, take my property, take this, but I also need you to marry my husband because I need you to make sure he's taken care of as well. Like, more of like a contractual thing. But then she said when they got married, they did have sex. He's way older. It's like weird. It's weird shit, man. People, like with Woody Allen. Didn't Woody Allen do the same thing? The director, he married, like,
but she was actually underage.
Oh, she was underage when he was messing with her? I know.
She was like 13 when he started talking to her.
Okay, well, see, that's crazy. I don't know. Look, he said, nah, step ain't biological. Think about this, Charles. You've been raising this girl since she was 4 years old, and then now she's 35. Could you, like, come on?
It's okay. Can we talk about undertones in movies real quick? You watched Twilight, right?
The one with the werewolves and the vampires, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember the little girl of the main character?
He imprinted on their daughter.
Wasn't there an underlying weird, like, not sexual tension, but a sexual, like, why is my daughter impacted to a man of this age and shit like that?
Yeah.
That happens to little girls because it's not the same when dudes do it. So I'm a flip it to women. Women be like, oh, that's my little boyfriend, right?
Uh-huh.
And a boy will have a fondness for the older women. Little girls can have fondness for older men as well. They can get impact on. That's why what he said, you really shouldn't have men imprinted on. And that's why you really shouldn't have men around for a long period of time, I would say. I don't know. Especially men that's not respectable and things like that. And
I looked at it multiple ways. I looked at it as maybe...
It's weird, bro.
I looked at it maybe even like she came on to him. Like, oh, shit. You Elon Musk daddy. So I need to make Elon Musk daddy have my kid so I can potentially be in that Elon Musk will life. Like, maybe not me, but at least maybe Elon give his daddy some money and then his daddy leave his son something. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Now you're right. When we talk about undertones flying low, you're 100% right.
What you say? That's why I think women have full custody. She shouldn't allow any man in her home to her kids lead the nest. Then, so if a woman and a man get divorced, and let's say the kids are like 3 or 4, your logic is a woman should not have any or bring a man around a woman around until the kids are like gone.
Now I think he has to be very respectable as a person. You need to vet. It's too dangerous. I mean, in general, bro, you don't want random people around your kids. The most domestic violence.
I didn't read what he said.
That's the one I was talking
Even
about.
the
But let me
main
finish.
character being attracted.
Let me finish this point. Most of the time, when a woman or a young girl or young boy get harassed or sexually violated, it's because of maybe someone in the house that's not related to them.
Yeah.
So the dangers is clear to see. That for some reason, it may be a young girl walking around the house freely or whatever. That dude don't have no, whatever it is, sometimes dudes just don't have no fucking filter or whatever the hell you want to call it. I can't even think of that mindset. But yeah, you gotta be careful with that.
I mean, I understand the sentiment. I'm not necessarily totally against it. I understand it.
Let's be honest. We used to have principals, male principals, that had girls that are fond over them, or teachers that are fond, like male principals, and all the girls are like snicker or laugh, like Coach Maverick or something like that. Like, not that he entertained them or anything.
They're just like they're up on. They're not necessarily pushing up on him in that way, but you know, like, oh, he's so cute. Or
they fond of him.
Yeah.
And just say some girls be fast. Yeah. Keep looking him in the eyes, keep testing him, and he ain't got that resolve and strength. That's how things happen. And like I said, is it nasty? Yeah, regardless. But let's get to fucking Fly Low shit. That really is a crazy fucking movie. They literally went to and stayed in high schools. If that's not the most predatory vampire shit.
I think since they look high schooly, right? I mean, they could have did college though. They could have did college.
Hey, Bella wasn't the first bitch he knocked down. This wasn't no one-off thing.
Yeah, man, it wasn't.
He knocking down high schoolers,
and then they died, and he get the next high schoolers, and that's why when you think about it like that, it is some wild shit. That's some wild shit.
And then his daughter getting imprinted on by an older man, and he was furious because he understands. He understands how young girls get imprinted on him and how dangerous that is. That's why he was so furious. That movie, bro, that's why you got to watch some of these shows you show these fucking kids. Like, bro, there be some nasty undertones in these shows, bro. And I'm pretty sure there's some shows that even kind of joke with older people being attractive to younger people. I'm sure that's a joke.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Can't think of movies and shit like that, but I know that's a trope that's out there.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. That's just crazy, man. I just don't understand how the 40, 30 raising her. But I mean, I guess with this, going back to the thing real quick, then we can move on to the next topic. I guess I can see that, right? Because like, I have a daughter now, right? And also, my son, I'll consider him vulnerable as well. At the moment, he's currently nonverbal. He has autism, so like, that's. I mean, not to say that my son doesn't have autism. He couldn't get taken advantage by a man at his young age. That's obviously possibly to happen. But now, if like I have 2 super vulnerable children, so I think I would be like uneasy with a man being around my kids, especially like those young. At the you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I get it. Like, I probably would don't date nobody, but it's like it's hard for me to tell her like you could never bring anybody. But we've had these I'm not saying we've talked about getting divorced, but like we just have these hypothetical situations, and she's pretty like keen on. Yeah, I'm not all this because we be talking about other people like we see like have a person and they bring in a bunch of people around so early. It's like I don't know if that's the greatest thing to be doing, especially even just introducing your kids to people. You can introduce your kid to the nicest guy, right? And then they get attached, and y'all don't work out. And it's like. Okay, now your kid thinking, okay, people just come in and out of lives all the time. You kind of mess up their relationship type, stability, emotional intelligence when they grow up. But whatever, it's whatever.
That's very deep, honestly.
Yeah. So we spoke on the rappers getting locked up and shit like that a little bit earlier. But let's get to this RICO shit because it was a little weird to me, right? I don't know. You ever heard of this? So the DA who's got the RICO on Young Thug, Gunna, and the rest of YSL guys, right? Somebody was interviewing her on the TV, and she just let it go that we're gonna have 2 more high-profile RICO cases within the next 60 days. Now, I don't remember prosecutors letting that information go like that. Like, pretty much alerting, hey, if you're in a gang in Atlanta, you don't know which one, but 2 of the gangs, we're coming after you in the next 60 days. So from the paperwork I've seen, there's a lot of gangs in Atlanta. So it's like you can't really tell who and what, but people are speculating when she says high profile. People seeing Lil Baby's gang a part of the thing, part of their
Not
attached to
Lil
the Crips.
Baby.
The 4PF is on there. Trail, the photographer, not mentioned me. He messaged me and said he's seen academics say something about, I don't know if you know who Young Nudie is, but he's a part of something that's called the ABM gang or something like that. Who I was looking at 21 Savage. I don't think 21 Savage is into that shit, but he does have Slaughter Gang or whatever the fuck they call they stuff. 21, whatever. I think they call it 21 Gang, whatever it was. And I was like, nah, they can't be. But I'm thinking about the YSL shit. They didn't just get the YSL shit recently. They've been tracking them since 2012. So it wouldn't be out of the reason for them to have been tracking 21 and his people since 2012, or Lil Baby and his people since 2012, or whoever since 2012. Because when you say high profile, you assume they're talking about big name people are going to be tied to this, right? If I was them, I would have a PJ on standby. I ain't going to lie to you. If you know you did some shit, right? You know you probably going to get away. I might have a PJ on standby to go to, Thailand or, not Beijing, Bali or some shit, like on some Russell Simmons shit. Like, I don't know if I'm just sticking around for the RICO, being young and rich. I might just get the fuck up out of here.
Yeah, that's for the top niggas. Most of them niggas ain't making that money.
Well,
though.
It's a sad world we live in. We only mostly talk about the top niggas anyways. When we talk about young, we only bring up Young Thug and Gunna. We don't bring up nobody else. All the other 26 people that got arrested, don't nobody really bring them up too much.
Should we care though if they really doing gang shit?
I mean, it's not even necessarily that I care, because like I said, if you're out here like murdering people, stuff like that, yeah. But if it's evidence like the YSL shit where it's like we using lyrics and this and that, it's kind of like come on. Like if you got people murdering people, yeah, get them. But if I'm just a part of this organization, like don't just arrest me for being part of the organization. Actually have me committing crimes and shit.
But it's not just the lyric shit. I know a lot of people try to make it seem like that with the YSL shit.
Well, no, I know there's like I read the whole like 80, 90, 100 thing indictment thing. I know there's other shit, but when I look at when I look at Gunna shit, they got Gunna for saying like he was in a video. He said, I got 100 rounds, lyrics here. He was a part of this video. And then there was a time when Young Thug and Gunna got arrested, or they got pulled over, and the car behind them had weapons in the car. So they're like, oh, they're the leaders and they're commanding these people. It's like, I don't know if that one's really gonna stick to well.
Well, I would agree with the Gunna, but Thug literally, if I'm not wrong, shot at Lil Wayne.
Or had somebody shoot at Lil Wayne.
That's on the record.
Yeah.
Allegedly. He also had a rental car that was involved in a murder in his name.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tried to get Wine Lil Lucy killed and also threatened him multiple times.
Yeah.
And we know that these niggas don't be playing. Like, that could have went down at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we see how these niggas been dying. So, for Young Thug, I don't really be having no sympathy for him. But if they trying to get Lil Baby, like, even if it's on some drug shit, I feel like that's some petty shit. Like, if it's on some real gang, like murdering and
if Lil Baby was selling dope in like 2017, it's like, and now he's moved on from that. Y'all don't really have nothing on him except for 2017 shit. Let that man go home and be great. Y'all should arrest me in 2017. I'm rich now. I'm giving back to the community. I'm taking care of my family, my kids, yada, yada. I'm not in the streets no more. Yes, 4PF is my label. Yes, I may have sold some dope in 2017, but don't come ruin my 2022 in the future because of shit I did in 2017.
I hope this make rappers more creative. I say that much.
Yeah.
Can't just rap about that shit.
But this I was thinking about a little bit more like in depth. I was like, what have we seen that has happened that could possibly be in their charge? Not to make a game out of shit. But I'm like, okay, what could they be using? Like, so like when you think about 21 Savage, right? You think about the infamous shooting where like somebody shot at his friend, killed his friend. He got shot, but then he shot back and killed them. Although he was obviously being attacked, they could still pull out some gang violence type shit because of this. This spawned off to this. With Lil Baby, from what I've seen from Lil Baby, the only things I've seen about him is he's a big gambler, right? And his crew allegedly like beat up Offset somewhere behind the scenes somewhere, something like that. But that's the only things I can see.
Niggas getting RICO for beating niggas up is crazy.
They're just trying to throw all kind of gang under the gang label, under the gang name. Like, maybe she's reaching. Right? Maybe she's just trying to look good for her superior. I don't know. I just don't get like I said, people are murdering people. I don't have sympathy for like murdering people, and then even if it's like, well, he just murdered his op, or he just murdered, like, you're still like, can't be out murdering people while not going crazy. So I really don't have no sympathy for that aspect. But if it's like, oh, Lil Baby on the part of 4PF in 2016 was selling a pound of weed, or he had a gun that wasn't like, all right, bro, come on. We gonna send him to prison for 5 to 10 years because of that. Like, come on.
That's why I appreciate Kendrick, J. Cole, Drake, because them niggas don't be
Drake. Like, they said Drake got locked up in Sweden. I think it was fake though, or he didn't. But they were saying that the other day.
I mean, I know he be saying mob shit, but for the most part, bro, it'd be hard to. Drake kind of be iffy with that shit, but for the most part,
I think Drake just be trying. He got Jay Princeton behind him, so he kind of like trying to push that. You know, he got.
Yeah, but I feel
like
they
say his niggas be beating up Chubbs, be running down on niggas, slapping them in the head. Baka be. I mean, maybe they do. I don't know.
That's not real gang shit though. That's just like
he in Canada. Canada ain't gonna give up Drake. They gonna extradite the niggas from the US.
That's funny. I'm just saying, like, it's refreshing to have them type of artists that don't rely on that gang sales and shit like that. Because at some point, bro, like, you see what this shit gets you, bro. Even if you're a rapper that so-called made it, bro. That shit keep following you because you ain't really let that shit go.
Yeah. Like, for example, Lil Durk. Like, I love Lil Durk's music. I said I think him and Future probably had the best 2 albums so far this year, at least the most exciting to me. But I think he just released a snippet where he's still like on that dissing this person. Y'all can't fuck with me. The ops. I get that's your shtick. That's your music thing. But like, you can't. Like, to me, that's like you're not checking the room, or what's it called, reading the room. Like, we see what's going on. They're getting you for lyrics. They're doing this. They're doing that. First of all, OTF in Chicago, they're already sweeping y'all OTF niggas up for murdering people in Chicago. You don't think you might want to like tamper it down a little bit? I was thinking with Lil Durk, like Lil Durk and King Von got arrested in Atlanta in Fulton County, the same place they're doing these RICOs at. We're doing some. I think it was a promote. I don't know exactly what it was. A promoter or some shit. They give their money and they might have attempted murder, some shit like that. Something crazy, right? But also, like, your house got ran up into by some people, and although you're the victim, I would say these people be the victim. Like the 21 Savage, they're the victim. But I feel like the justice and police still look at it as like potential gang on gang type violence because, oh, they did this because you're the leader of OTF. Even though he may not be the leader, he's obviously just the biggest name. But I feel like they tie all this shit in there. So like we say all these Atlanta gangs, I think a lot of them Chicago OTF niggas is running around in Atlanta with Lil Durk. So it might be them for all we know. They already got charges there for attempted murder or whatever, robbery of club promoters. So who's to say they ain't OTF in this? Like, we don't even know.
I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't mind this shit going out of style.
No, I think it should go. I don't really like. I like the music, but see, I'm able to disassociate like they real bullshit from like, oh, this song just sounds good. And also, I don't think that you should, once you get into the game, once you're here, I don't think you have to continue to actively, beef. Now, maybe you can't run away from your past. Like, you're obviously still in Atlanta. Your homeboys are still there. Everybody's not a millionaire like you a millionaire. So you got homeboys that are still actively in the streets doing stuff. But I think once you become a rapper, whatever street thing you was tied to, you should probably rep that silently. It shouldn't be your name. It's like all that making your name shit. No. Just be Lil Baby. And if you're going to create a label, don't create the label off the back of the gang shit you was doing before you was a rapper. Now, 4PF maybe y'all click or whatever. All right, we're not going to associate the rap shit with that because we don't want to amplify that name. We don't want to make it bigger. I get how it looks cool to make it bigger for the hood, but for the smart reasons, it's probably not the best thing to make that was a click before a big entity now and really have eyes gunning for us. I just don't. Maybe I don't.
And you know what else I think it is? I think it's a little bit of like stupidity from like certain people. Because like I think about like Yo Gotti. I remember him like I just going through a process of thoughts. He was just talking about like his cocaine gang and shit all that, but a lot of that shit was like after he got out of jail, he was able to comfortably talk about that. Yeah. Boosie maybe talking about certain things that he went through. Like he already beat the case and shit.
He beat the case. Been in prison. Been whatever.
The Baby shooting a nigga. Like when these people can talk about these things because they and kind of be confident and talk about shooting people because obviously they did it, got off, and it's cool. But then these other dudes hear that shit like, oh, you can do that, but nigga, you still actively in the streets. You're actively snitching on yourself. versus like other dudes like they know like that shit is dead or that shit is no way to connect them, but like you niggas still be like active still in the same shit that you niggas is rapping about versus another nigga back in the day in the 90s might have rapped about some shit he did 10 years ago.
Yeah, like Yo Gotti's obviously not selling cocaine still, but he's probably still pulling from those old memories to make music. These new guys are still out here selling cocaine. Like they just sold a brick and then got in the studio and said, I just sold a brick on 21st. Like you're still actively doing this shit. Or maybe just killed somebody last week and you're gonna go in the studio and be like, I just killed the dude. Like, I don't know if that's the it's art. I get it, lyrics, art, but I just don't think you want to put that heat on you. That's what my main thing is putting the heat on you.
It's not even art when you look at it. It's just these niggas thinking it's an easy way to get on. I'm on that gang shit. That's why these niggas make it. I bet they think, oh, Yo Gotti made it because he was this big cocaine dude, or Lil Baby made it because Lil Baby, Jay-Z, all these niggas already had money, so apparently, right?
Yeah.
Young Dolph made $1 million off selling weed, right?
Yeah.
So these dudes made their name, but then like they think, oh, that's gonna be the reason why I can be looked at as this way. But no, them niggas are talented too. They just so happen to be both.
Yeah.
Like if you really look at the Lil Baby story, it's kind of crazy because he only like he started rapping hella late.
Yeah.
Like and most dudes you think they Gunna
was helping him like whatever.
Yeah, I feel like that's what a lot of that shit be. Like a lot of these young dudes, they feel like that's an easy way to get on. It's talking about repping their life and repping the shit that they did because they see so many other people do that, but they don't understand. Like even sometimes a person like Plies may be talking about his brother, or even a Pusha T may be talking about his family, and not really even talking about himself. But it's okay because that's art. You're embodying something that's a product of your environment.
By things, you're pulling them and you're making them into But even like with the Lil Baby that you just brought up, because I watched his documentary. What's it called? It's called like Preacher something. This is some preacher. I don't know. Street preacher, gospel preacher. I don't know. Some preacher. And how I was thinking about this whole RICO shit. If it is Lil Baby, it's like if Lil Baby got popping, rapping, and into now, and he was still actively doing street shit, I'll get on him like he's the biggest fucking dumbass. He an idiot. He was on top of the world. He was probably potentially be able to go on one of a nice run, be the guy for his generation, and he ruined it by whatever. Like if it's some old shit, and then especially if it's some shit because he went to prison for like a year and a half or 2 years for whatever he did something. If it's some shit like before that, it's like, all right, bro, I already went to prison. Y'all ain't gonna fucking send me to prison retroactively for some shit y'all didn't catch me with. But now y'all caught like I don't know about shit like that. I don't like shit like that. I think it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
8 months. So Lil Wayne only went to jail for 8 months. I was like, Lil Wayne went to jail and still was on top. But that was only 8 months.
That wasn't that long. But I mean, if Lil Baby go to prison, like I said, God willing you don't. If you didn't do anything, if you was murdering people, like I don't really got no sympathy. But if you do go to prison for like a year, I'm trying to think of the new music people climate. I still think and also I think he has enough music to where he could drop music still within that year. I think if you want to go to prison, you gotta still drop music.
Yeah.
Like Gucci, whether you listen to it or not, while Gucci was in prison for them, how many years, 6, 7 years he was in prison, or maybe 5, 4. I don't remember. It felt like it went by so fast. I don't know how long he was in there.
He was still dropping.
He was dropping like 2 mixtapes a year. It felt like, whether listening or not, he was still dropping shit. So, I mean, that's the latest on the RICO shit. It's weird for me to see her like. I know, like they announce stuff like that. Like we got 2 big RICOs coming up. I feel like she's like it's like the UFC. They just announced like the light heavyweight championship title is gonna be in Abu Dhabi. Like they have a big promo for she's promoing like we about to get these motherfuckers in 60 days. We got them. It's like I don't know. That's the thing that DAs usually promote. Like you can say like, hey y'all, see what happened to YSL? If you're in Atlanta doing gang shit, we're coming for you. That's kind of like vague. It's kind of like you don't know when we're coming, but like having in 60 days we'll be dropping 2 more high profile RICOs. It's kind of like. If like you said, we always talk about the big people. If I'm a lower level person, I might just get the fuck out of Atlanta right now. I might just go. I don't even need Atlanta. I go to a remote. I go to Alabama. I'm just gonna go away. If I even think that I'm potentially gonna be a part of one of these RICOs, and then when I see that I'm not a part of a RICO, then I'll migrate my ass back to Atlanta. But for right now, I might take my ass to Mexico.
But like, I appreciate the forecast.
Appreciate the heads up. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. I'm not gonna sit around and wait for the RICO. Let me go out the state, and then if the RICO do come, then I'll come back.
Damn, yo, clumsy ass.
Why 60 days? That's a good question. if you think about it, what's going to happen in 60 days from now? Today's July. So we're going to think in August, September. That's a month and a half. So it's fresh before election time. Maybe she's trying to run for DA again. She's trying to show the people, hey, I'm good on crime. Maybe that's why she's doing it. I don't know. Because DAs do get elected. So maybe she's just trying to get some election shit going. But
most likely.
I did see somebody talking about those. Like I don't know if it's academics. I don't remember who it was I saw talking about. They were saying she is also trying to charge Donald Trump for RICO as well, for election tampering or whatever. So maybe Donald Trump is one of the people that she's actually, maybe not a rapper, maybe it's Donald Trump. So who knows? Who the fuck knows? Why not get them now? That's what I'm saying. If you are these people as dangerous as you say they are, in 60 days they could cause more havoc if they really here causing havoc. Why not just nab their ass right now? Unless you don't really got nothing on them, then you're trying to just build more shit. But I don't know. What else we got, man?
I wanted to throw this in here because it's just something that I seen and how I see things.
All right, what's up?
Am I the only one that thinks Jack Harlow's KFC commercial is cringe?
Oh, Jesus.
He's supposed to be the guy that's loved by black people, and guess what? The go-to marketing is chicken. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit?
Like pandering like crazy. But let me ask you this. I don't know. Listen, I'm half black, so I may not know this. KFC isn't the like prototypical chicken for black people, is it?
No,
that ain't the go-to, right?
No, but I just think it's cringy.
That's like the white people chicken. That's like the white people fried chicken now.
I think he had a white publicist, like, black people love. You know what other? You know what
Rob Stark for the $4.99.
You know what else? You know what else black people love? Chicken. If we get you and chicken together,
but not KFC chicken though. If it was like a Popeyes,
but I think somebody already did Popeyes. I think somebody.
Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion had a little hottie girl, but still, you gotta roll behind it. Fuck it. Travis Scott had McDonald's and Sweetie had McDonald's. You could do a double up on the Popeyes, but KFC like white people chicken. Am I wrong? Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. Is KFC white people chicken?
I think everybody eat KFC.
I think KFC dry. I mean, maybe it's just me. I don't know.
I don't eat KFC in general, but I don't really eat Popeyes or too much shit like that either, though.
Maybe Popeyes is better marketing. Maybe I just see them more.
Yeah, it's definitely more advertised.
And it's a black lady, like, Southern Louisiana style. Like, maybe that's why I think.
And I feel like it's no different. I feel like he's right up that. Hey guys, I'm Southern. I love the same thing. But
it is good though. It's good though. You got to think though. It's Kentucky Fried Chicken. He's from Kentucky.
Okay.
My battery about to die again. Hold on.
Yeah, you gave him an out. I ain't gonna lie to you. You gave him an out. Malik. You gave him an out. I'm a man of logic, and I know when I don't have much in the debate. That's a good point. But I still see some underlying racism, and I'm not gonna never let that die in my heart. I don't think I said the same thing about Jerry Rice putting on a chicken helmet. That shit is cringy as fuck. I feel the same way about the lady having this southern ass voice for Popeyes, acting like I should love the chicken just because she's a black southern woman. I don't like none of that shit. I think it's the same old ba-da-ba-ba-ba, like black people pandering shit. So yeah, you got me with the Kentucky shit.
It's white people chicken. He from Kentucky.
You got me. But I think it's still some underlying racism. That's all I'm gonna say. I feel a little like.
You feel pandered to.
Yeah, I feel like that was a little nasty. I ain't gonna lie. I wish Water was in here to defend his baby daddy, but
you're not that guy, pal. Trust me.
Oh shit, my bad. Wrong one. But no. I mean, what you want to talk about this last? You want to get into Hunter Biden real quick?
Yeah, man, it's a nasty topic.
What you think, man, about the crack, the women, the prostitutes?
Those are little girls.
Little girls. You the first person I've seen say that. Out of everybody I've ever seen say that, you the first person I've seen say that.
Okay, so look what happened.
You're the first person I heard say that.
Let me explain what happened. How this came about. The day before I seen Tim Pool say something about Hunter Biden pictures, I seen pictures about Hunter Biden being no shirt off, laying down with girls like sitting around him on a couch, little young girls.
And then the very next day, I didn't think much of it because I was like, whatever, it's the Bidens being Bidens. I seen what's her name talk about it, and then I seen somebody else bring it up. So I'm thinking like that's all a part of the images. Let me see if I can pull it up. It'd be tragic, but nah, they was all in like bathing suits, and they like they was like in the pool or some shit like that.
I know what you're talking about, but I'm looking at it right now. They're saying that picture isn't a picture of him. That's just a picture that's been floating around that people are trying to attribute to him. This is like convenient for the hack right now to throw it out there. That's what I'm reading about it.
Okay.
Now these places could be, whatever riding for him, but that's what from what I'm reading, they're saying that this is images from Hunter Biden's laptop show Joe Biden. This ain't Joe Biden. What? Yeah, they're saying that's fake. Oh, this is a different picture that I'm looking at. But I know that you talking about the picture with him in the tub. They're saying that one's fake as well.
Nah, he wasn't in the tub. He was like
No, he's on the couch. He on the couch.
Okay.
He like laying down and like rubbing his head and shit like that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's it's like one girl's rubbing his eyes, one girl got their feet on his chest, and all this other stuff like that. I see it. But this is like now, I don't really like how I thought about it. I don't really care that like there's different contexts people have as far as like Joe Biden being one of the guys pushing the crime bill and the crack and the cocaine and how that looks kind of crazy knowing that your son is addicted to crack, even though we won't know when his son got addicted to crack. Maybe just recently got addicted, been addicted since the 80s and 90s.
They knew about this before he got elected.
Well, no, not president. I'm talking about like the 90s, like when the crime bill.
Oh, got you.
Three strikes and all that type of shit.
Got you.
Right. But when I saw it, I'm like, first of all, I don't really see how I could attribute it to Biden. Now you can say, is he a bad parent? Because like I said, did this dude start doing crack when he was a kid or when he's an adult? Once somebody's an adult and they make an adult decision for themselves, I don't necessarily blame the parents for that scenario that goes on, right? Now, what I do know is that from what I'm seeing as far as media, now people are talking about it, but it's like it's kind of like a blip. If this was Don Jr. or Eric Trump or Ivanka Trump, that should be 24/7 rolling at the bottom ticker, top ticker. Every blue check will be tweet. But this one feels a little light. It's like, oh yeah, he does crack. Whatever. Everybody's got family members that do crack, which I agree with. There's people that are drug addicts in their family, so it's not like I'm not gonna kill them for it because regular people got family members that are drug addicts. But as far as a media perspective, it looks like y'all kind of picking and choosing who y'all want to kind of go after when it comes to certain things like this.
So you took the light approach, and I commend you for that.
That's how I look at it.
I don't think you're wrong. That's not looking deep into things. And I'm not gonna say you being surface level either with that. I think that's like a logical approach without like being a conspiracy theorist and shit like that or going into the deep details. For me, I know the nature of Biden as his father and the nastiness that he do. I dropped many shits on Biden being a nasty motherfucker. And I think the apple don't fall far from the tree, which is my biggest thing on like if you see him.
It's so disrespectful.
Nah, I know, bro. And she gonna get right back up.
Flicking the tail in your face and shit. God damn.
It's very annoying.
But anyways, continue.
But I feel like the apple don't fall far from the tree. And when I see the shit that Joe do and Biden, the Hunter not too far away from it, I think it's true. But to me, it screams just like his father, how nobody talks about how Biden was nasty. No one's really talked about how Biden flawed, especially people on the liberal side. Yeah. Like nobody wanted to bring up any of that shit. Like, and I felt like that shit was crazy as fuck for none of that to ever come out. And I kind of commended Tim Pool because I thought all that shit was kind of intertwined with the kid picture and all the other shit. And I commended people. I was like, oh shit, people actually want to talk about this shit finally. But bro, how the media can cover up things, like you said, if it was somebody else, it wouldn't be covered up. How the media can cover up these things, bro, just made me just be like so not invested, bro. Because it's clearly biased. It's clearly like if you're not on their side, then you get all the hate. But if you're on their side, you get all the protections. And then like the shit that they side do that get protection is nasty. A lot of shit is nasty. Even with the media cover up shit is just nasty as fuck to me. Because let's be real. If we really had real journalism, Hollywood would be crumbled by this Epstein shit.
Yeah.
A lot of government politicians should be fucking locked up, but no real politicians. No one standing on that fucking let's really tell the truth ledge. And that's all. I feel like the Biden shit, all that shit is a reflection of that. Because let's be real, bro. They got a fucking log of people that been to that shit. And that shit was never mainstream. The airplane log of all the people that's been there. Come on, bro. Like, it never was publicized. And
let me ask you this. Do you think everybody that's been there has done something like that? Every name is on that manifesto, right? Because I've seen names like, I don't want to put, it's either Chris Rock or Chris Tucker.
Almost every almost all
Teigen's
of
name is on there. I think I could be wrong. Maybe Chris Teigen was on there just because she was a model. This nigga got to go to the bathroom. I don't know. Like I said, I want to throw it on John Legend was on there. I'm seeing Chrissy Teigen, maybe John Legend, but maybe it's just because she was a model when she was younger. I don't know. But you assume that everybody who went to the island was doing some shit on the island.
Before it'd be hard to say that, but after the Golden Globes and Ricky Gervais making his statements and then how everybody laughed at the inside joke and kind of knowing, maybe they don't do anything, but they participate in the activities, which is, I mean, there's no difference to me.
We can pick back up on this. I'll be right back.
There's no difference to me. Yeah, I just, when we talk about the logs, bro, we seen Obama being on boats on the way to the island. I've seen a lot of celebrities that you be like, damn, that's my dog. That's went to that shit, bro. Like, and to me, it ain't like, oh, they was probably hiding that shit in a secret tunnel. Like, nah, bro. That I don't believe it. Ain't nobody gonna be as rich as a motherfucker like that and be on the island and be hiding shit in the basement. That shit was free. They had motherfucking walking around like slaves. They had people probably in rooms fucking all damn day, and I'm talking about young kids and adults. So nah, I don't. I think people went there as a part of earning your stripes, because we know they do embarrassment rituals. We know if you gonna make it to a certain level, they gotta have something against you, because you ain't just about to go and ain't no strings attached type shit. You can't be freely on our media and you don't fear us type shit and what we can do to end your career. And that's why shit magically come up about dudes that's been doing shit for 20 or 30 years, and then all of a sudden, once the people, whoever they is, get mad at you, all of a sudden all the shit come out, these docuseries come out and these people get locked up. You know, these people be knowing about that shit because that's their culture. And I feel like a lot of celebrities go there are a product of trying to keep their career going and keep their career alive and playing with that monster, bro. Like we if y'all look, a lot of like dudes that's not super famous but has been in those Hollywood circles and like rappers and shit, they'll be like, bro, we been in them parties, bro. We even see, I think Cat Williams or somebody did stand up like, we been in them parties, bro. You open certain doors and you be like, what the fuck are they doing in there? And yeah, and let's get real, bro. Even fucking Beyonce and Jay-Z are part of that shit. It's a Lady Gaga old manager. Let me pull up her name. No, that's not her. I mean, let me see, y'all.
Woo. All right. What we say?
What the fuck is this lady name?
Whatever.
I was trying to find out this lady name that used to be Lady Gaga's manager. They be doing
the
this.
Lady satanic and all that shit. With
Yeah,
Jay-Z?
yeah. And then Jay-Z had her in her. He bowed down to her in his rap video. They've been at multiple gatherings where they've had. I want you to pull this shit up. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let me see. Let me see. Give me like 2 seconds. You never can find shit when you wanna. They never had a shit when you fuck, bro.
I mean, I've seen a picture of it before. I just don't know what her
It's
name is.
annoying, but they've been seen at these events where they basically have fake bodies of people that you can eat, and they have blood and all these different things, and they were seen there. And like I said, this lady's been in her videos, and she was the host of these events. As well, I might have missed saying that. So we see my point of bringing this up, D friend, was saying like we see they go to these type of events and they go to these things as part of like earning their stripes into society or to the Hollywood culture as far as maintaining a legacy, maintaining like getting more things and like that. Because like my thing is like when you involved in those things, they have something against you when you participate in these things and when you go to these events. Like I said, all of a sudden like these people be doing these things for 20, 30 years and then something come out and people been had a history of knowing these things, but all of a sudden when they don't like them anymore or whatever, all of it come out and they get this person canceled. So
Yeah,
it's like it's clearly a thing where like Hollywood, it's a part of like what you're willing to do, some of the nasty things that you're willing to do, or they talk about the gay culture of rap and all different type of shit. However far you're willing to go, a lot of times can boost you to high levels with your talents. You got to have both. You
yeah,
gotta have both. That's what they talking about, sleeping your way to the top. Even when they say Meg did that, Meg's still talented, but to even be seen more, she might have slipped her way to the top. And I think that's a part of the game, bro. So when you asked, this all led from the question that you asked about, do I think they participate in it? I don't know if they participate in it, but just going there in general, like it's like blackmail type shit.
yeah. Like you were here too. You ain't that did nothing, but you see what's going on.
I got a question. Do you think a dude as rich as that on an island, like to put all that on an island? You think a dude that's rich like that to put all that on an island is gonna keep that shit kind of underground hidden, or he gonna have that shit like free? This nigga bought an island for some shit like that. You think he just gonna hide that from people that come in, casual people that come in, or that's gonna be the theme of the shit?
Well, no, I think you can. I think I'm bringing it in the context of what you see in movies, right? You can, because I watch Blacklist, right? And Blacklist is kind of like if you like a conspiracy theorist person or whatever, like you think the world has like maybe like a secret assassin or a secret thing. Blacklist is a good show to watch for people like that. It's a really good show too. A lot of times in those events where you see things going on, whether it's like auctions for human trafficking, it's disguised as an event. But then you go to the under where the people who want to go partake, they go down below and they partake. It looks like a party up top, but then
But
the devious things are taking place at the
my
bottom.
context to that is why go to the risk of doing that when you're on an island? I can see like that's your island. I can see if you was in like, some place that's on land where you can get caught and shit, but you're on the island, you protected, like think about like, government officials come in, you protected by people, you making a fortune off this shit. Are
Uh-huh.
you hiding this shit on the island, or are you open and free like it's a compound of just human trafficking shit like that? That's my thing. I don't think he gonna be in the earth to hide it on the island that he's on, that's funded by the shit that he's the reason that he on that island.
Yeah.
And the reason why I think a lot of people go to that island.
I mean, I'm not saying it's like out the realm of possibility.
I just
But
don't see him.
we used to believe that. Then we used to believe like that. Like I said, like Chris Tucker. I think it's Chris Tucker, not Chris Rock, was potentially on that island doing
Or
some
witnessed or
things.
doing to for my belief. Because they say I brought this up too. Like I say, you hear like certain rappers that ain't as big or certain celebrities that's not as big. They talk about, oh, when you go in those certain rooms, like you go to these certain parties, you open the door, you be like, oh, what the fuck they doing in there? It's
Yeah,
like they be pretty open, and people see that in shit like regular day-to-day parties that regular people at.
yeah.
There'll be sex parties and shit that the people get invited to, and like, I ain't know it's a sex party. Like, I've heard of that shit like that, and they don't
So
be too. They don't be
let
too
me
secret.
let me just this is like a couple names right from the manifest, right? So here's some names that have been on the flight or on Lolita Express, which is his plane, I guess. So Donald Trump, right? Bill Clinton, Kevin Spacey, who has he got some underage things he had going on. They say he used to have underage sex with young boys. He came out and said, "Oh, I'm gay." He had his thing. Chris Tucker, Bill Gates, Prince Andrew, who has his own underage things going on. I think Robert F. Kennedy Jr. could be wrong. He had something going on, a sexual assault thing. I don't know nothing about the violinist Chaka Perlman. Don't know nothing about them. U.S. Senator John Glenn. Don't know nothing about him either. But I'm sure maybe if we Google, we might find something. And former Senate Majority Leader George Mitchell. And that's just a couple of what I would assume are many more.
There's a lot of black people on there. You be like, oh damn, it ain't just no Chris Tucker. It's some other motherfuckers.
Yeah. Well, this is the people they highlight.
Man, it's a big list, and it's not like they name on there one time either. Multiple times. Like I be people of the Rock ilk. Maybe not the Rock, but I've seen people of like Chris Rock. That nigga was a huge star. Let me see if I can pull up any names while we here, bro. I've been unsuccessful.
They even had Stephen Hawkins out on the island, man. You know who that is?
Yeah, I know. I ain't never liked that nigga.
You know who that is? Who is that?
That's the nigga in the wheelchair.
Why you don't like him? What he do?
He spewed that bullshit science that we random and all this shit, like chaos and shit like that. He preached chaos essentially. I don't fuck with this shit. That's some deep shit. Don't worry about that though.
See, look, I don't see. This is what I'm saying though. Like, look. So, believe it or not, this is what I was saying. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily everybody who goes there knows what's going on. Like I said, maybe it's like a thing. It's just like this is why I look at this, right? So it's like Epstein uses his wealth in the island for notoriety, right? So he has conferences, events, or whatever. But like I said, he does also bring the people that are willing to do the kid underage things as well. So,
I just don't believe that.
Well, then we got to just believe that anybody who's been there is partaking in,
that's what I believe. Because that's why I brought up the Golden Globe shit at first.
So it's like for this, right? So Stephen Hawkins in a wheelchair, he brought him out there because Epstein funded a conference on the island that Hawkins and several other prominent scientists attended. While they were there for the conference, they did not attend a party, or they did attend a party or two thrown by Epstein during their time on the island.
Yeah, maybe he didn't. I doubt it though, because like, bro, Epstein is that like.
I'm sure there's people that's going to the island doing nasty shit, but I wonder if it was like oh my god, this is like Hollywood shit at the top, and then like, hey, you got the secret code, like, so little legs, and then you go downstairs.
So this is my logic, right?
The nasty shit.
This is my logic, right? Epstein is not this like huge pop star. He's not this huge celebrity, right? So when people are like, oh, let's go to Epstein Island, they're like, well, who's Epstein? People won't ask questions. There's going to be rumors. There's going to be a certain level of he's going to have a certain integrity. People know that. That's why that insider joke about Epstein Island and how they can all laugh at the Golden Globes, because they know Epstein's name. That name comes with a certain level of conversations. So I don't think people that just decided to go to this island didn't understand who the fuck Epstein was. That's my thing. Just like how back in the day, USA knew exactly what the fuck was going on with Hitler, but still decided to have the Olympics there. But it was like, hey guys, can you take down some of the flags because we want to look right to the media internationally. So these people be knowing and even congregating and understanding who these people are before the mainstream public do. I mean, sometimes the mainstream public never get out. But this is some of the names I've seen: Will Ferrell, Will Smith, Woody Allen, Tom Hanks, and I've heard a lot of things about Tom Hanks. Robert Downey Jr., Jim Carrey, Jimmy Kimmel, John Legend, Katy Perry, Kevin Spacey. Bro, and Hollywood, Pharrell, Oprah, Hollywood shows this nasty shit, bro. Naomi Campbell, Hollywood shows that they play with satanic shit. Hollywood shows that they don't care about morals. Hollywood shows they'll push anything to your kids. So when we start seeing, oh, they ended up on this island that was full of treachery and evilness, a lot of them niggas don't even believe in God and higher powers, bro. So when these people get on the, it just fit the narrative that I've already believed. So maybe I'm biased. Quentin Tarantino. Who else have I missed? Bill Murray, Beyonce, Barack.
Beyonce was on the island.
Bro,
What list you looking at? I ain't
Bro.
never seen nobody bring up Beyonce name.
No, they don't bring none of these niggas' name up, bro. These people name wasn't on the list just more than once, bro.
I ain't never seen niggas say that.
Bro,
Beyonce,
because nobody ever mentioned the real names, bro. All that shit go unwatched, bro. I'm telling you, that's what makes it
where you
annoying.
see these names at though?
This is the list that people and they basically pulled out the list and put it on a separate thing. It's on Reddit. But I've went through the logs myself personally, and because it's written very small, you got to zoom in and shit, and it was over like 50 pages, and I went through almost all of them. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, back in the day, and these same names popped up. So when I see these names, these are the same names I seen back in the day.
See, because okay, I'm looking at this now. Listen, these things are saying false, debunked. Like I said, I'm not trying to just debunk you, but I'm just saying that what I'm reading.
Nah,
So it says that Lil Wayne, Beyonce, Virgil Abloh, R. Kelly, that could be justified, maybe who was on the island. Kanye West. That we be saying that all these people are known, like to be doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Bro, Hollywood
Kanye
is like
and
that
Wayne.
big dog. Hollywood's like that big dog.
See, I don't want to run with the Hollywood thing because when my shit get popping, I don't want niggas start thinking that I'm doing it because now I'm Hollywood.
You think you on the
Well,
same
you're
level?
Hollywood, not.
You
I want to be on that level.
But still, I'm saying making like you can.
I want to be Oprah. Shit.
It's bro. I understand you want to be Oprah, but there's ways you could be Oprah like a Joe Rogan. But then there's a way to be Oprah where you're going through these big Fortune 5 company networks and getting sponsored by these companies that have certain regulations and shit that you can and cannot say due to marketing. I don't think you want to be Oprah to a point where you can't say shit though. I think you still want to be able to speak freely. I think you want to build up your own platforms like somewhere like a Kevin Hart would do. Like even with Kevin Hart, yeah, he kind of used everybody else, but we see how he built his own network. So he kind of be uncounselable to a certain degree. So I think you would want to be like that, of course. But I'm talking about these people that rely heavily.
When I say Oprah, I'm talking about money.
But I understand that, but I'm talking about how they rely heavily on these certain people where if they step out of line, like they got to play that game of the old media, the old Hollywood. I don't think every celebrity acquiesce to that because we see people get easily canceled. We see people that's not liked by the mainstream that's still famous and popular. It's possible for sure. I'm not arguing that, but I'm talking about the average like mega star.
He was flying. That nigga was flying the jet up to 2019. I didn't know that he was doing that shit for a long time because you was naming these names like Beyonce, Barack. I thought his shit was like the early 90s. They wasn't around.
Hell no.
They said he been flying up to 2019. It was really popping. It was really popping from 96 to 2005. Then slowed down a little bit. Picked up a little bit in 2016 around the election time. I don't know who the fuck they was flying out there at that point, but I mean, yeah.
Well, my whole point of bringing it up, even if Beyonce wasn't on the list, salute to her. She been seeing some other nasty shit regardless. But yeah, I mean, it was some this lame on that list, and the fact that they went multiple times, the fact that I believe they know who the fuck. Explain with Whoopi Goldberg, but people know the name of Epstein, so that's my thing.
Let me just say this. I'm not trying to defend anybody on the list. So when we say the Epstein flight logs, these are just people who flew his airplane. Not necessarily everybody who flew this airplane went to the island. So that may be why we see Chris Tucker may have got on that plane to go somewhere else, but this doesn't these aren't all. You know what I'm saying? These aren't like island manifests.
Maybe you went to a Epstein ranch or some shit that we don't know about.
Yeah.
I
What was that? Even maybe not even that. Or there's like rich people just charter people's planes. Like
No, I
maybe he
understand
used it
that.
on some shit like that. But like I said, we do know there's a lot of nasty niggas that's going to the island. So I'm not trying to dispute that. But like the log thing is just like who was flying on. Like, I thought when people were saying it, it was like, oh, these are people going direct to the island. But from what I'm reading, these just logs of people who have used the plane at some point for whatever reason. But anyways,
I acknowledge that's a new point. I didn't know that for sure. I thought that was all going to the island. So I got to give you that one. But I sense this from you. I got to ask you a question.
mm-hmm.
Do you feel like there's this underlying nastiness in Hollywood, or you feel like it's organic of being like?
Well, I feel like we've seen too many things for there not to be nastiness. I just don't.
But do you think that's?
I don't overtly think most people, a lot of people in it, are a part of the nastiness.
So you don't think there's like certain rituals that make people do to even get onto these certain platforms?
See, I'm not really the big ritual guy, like to make people do things. Even like when we talk about the whole humiliation thing, like I don't really delve into that. Like I'm gonna say, if it's true, I'm not gonna fight against it. Like, no, that can't. Like if it's true, it's true. But I just don't really tend to think like it's like when I think of Hollywood, most of what I think of famous people, I think like black people. I don't really think of white people. It's like if you say that, like, okay, so Kevin Hart is like the biggest thing in the world. What did Kevin Hart do to get big? Did he organically get big, or are you saying like he got something?
No. I think
Or like Rock. Like the Rock is a superstar. So you would from what I would assume what you're saying is the Rock is a quintessential superstar, right?
Yeah.
So to be at that level, you had to have done something, whether that
mixed with talent. Mixed with talent.
So he had to do something, right?
Mixed with talent. Yeah.
I'm not saying they don't kiss people's ass to get to the positions, but maybe not to the level that I think that you maybe think of what you consider kissing ass.
Like how Terry Crews, the dude just constantly feel like grabbing his dick.
Mm-hmm.
Like I be feeling like that's the culture where like you can get emasculated at any time. Where you wear a dress or we put you in a role that you may not love to play in, but you got to play it in. The Rock and War tutu. Almost every black celebrity have had to wear some type of feminine shit or emasculating shit or act like a gangbanger or some shit like that. Unless you're a woman, and that's a whole nother conversation. But I'm talking about the black men. Yeah. So I feel like little things like that because it's like how.
Yeah, we got real music.
How have almost 90% of our male celebrities that are black have been put on a dress by Hollywood?
Do white dudes not put on dresses?
They do. Certain they make white dudes do that too. But why, when we know that's not our culture, we never laughed at that shit. We never felt that was clever. They never been like.
You don't think Big Mama House is funny?
It's funny to a certain degree.
You don't think Meet the Clumps is funny? I guess I just don't really look at shit like that. I just be looking at it like maybe they're saving money by having one person play all the characters. So it's like he gotta eventually wear like a grandma outfit and he gotta wear like a mom outfit. That's how I look at it. I don't know.
I mean, I understand it. I'm not gonna argue with you.
In my mind, it never pops up like, oh my god, he's emasculated. Now maybe you're talking about like just like through history and things like that. Like you're really like breaking down on that level of like the history of it. Then I can see that. But like I guess when I look at it, like when I see Martin Lawrence do Big Mama's House, I don't look at like, oh fuck, they done emasculated this. I just think like we saving money on casting by just here, you getting this.
So it's not really about their talent. It's about Hollywood being selective with the people that make it. If you're not going to play along their lines, you're not going to make it. And the lines that they play and the lines that they push on you are very nasty. Have y'all seen the movie or the TV show The Boys?
No.
Damn it, that'd have been perfect. So it was a superhero lady, and she kind of had her own little vision on how she thought being a superhero was. She had this classy, conservative outfit and things like that. And they was like, you're not really selling, you're not really hitting to the public, right? Mm-hmm. They was like, let's change your name. Let's make you more sexually provocative. They start pushing the limit and kind of peer pressuring her. Like, you really want this role? You always want to be on this, right? So if you want to do that, kind of do some of these things. They constantly push where you're not you no more, where you're doing everything that they say do. And that's similar to what military do. That's similar to what frats do, where it's like you are not you anymore. You are the team. You are the rules and regulations that you're now up under, and that's how you are as a person. Now you can operate in that and be creative inside of that, but you can't leave outside of that box.
And with Hollywood, I feel like they make a very nasty box. Like I said, going back to The Boys, they keep constantly pushing you. Hey, be a gang member. Hey, act like a woman. Hey, whatever. Push this negative narrative. Or even when you in real life go to these parties and really show that you really want to do these things. Like we said, the Harvey Weinsteins and how niggas do like shit. I really believe that's the overall nature of Hollywood. Do I think they're talented? Of course. But I think America and its media in general are very strict with the people that they give platforms to. Just like anybody. You don't just give a platform to people that you don't agree with, or that you think are like crazy or whatever. You give platforms to people that you respect or that's aligned to you. So when I talk about the nastiness of America, when we talk about the shit that they push, Hollywood is the main puppets of that besides politicians. And I think they direct nastiness of the leaders that run them niggas and shit like that. I truly believe that. Like, do I think Kevin Hart is successful or talented? Do I think The Rock is talented? Of course, I can't deny that. But I think they make all of them do a certain amount of things. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I think like for me, I just don't even think about it really. Like when I see some people say like, "Oh, this," like I seen that guy. I don't know his name is. He was like in the lottery shit with Bow Wow, and he was talking about wearing a dress in Hollywood and how I think now he's changed. He's real spiritual now, whatever. How he kind of felt the way, something like that. I feel some people probably do feel that way, but it's like, are they being forced? Like if they say no, something gonna happen. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not to say that there's not Hollywood pressure because we see, like, I was watching Dave Chappelle's dropped a new. It's not even a special. It's like he dropped like his acceptance speech for his old school changes thing. He was talking about kind of the whole Chappelle show shit. How he was like, they wanted me to do this, they wanted me to do that. I didn't want to do that, so I left. And he said, what they do to me, y'all see what they did to me when I left. They tried to pay me out to be crazy, and I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, and that. And then he come back, and obviously he's Dave Chappelle. Now I'm sure there's shit like that when they think like, oh, you think you bigger than the program, so we're gonna squash you. Like, don't the Kevin Hart shit with the Oscars. They might have been like, Kevin Hart may have been able to be cool with doing a lot of shit up to that point. Now he got to a certain status. He might have thought he was bigger than the program. I wouldn't be surprised if I was a Hollywood hit squad that bought bots to keep tweeting about the gay thing and make it bigger than it really was. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's how it happened. But a lot of times I don't look at the dress like even with Tyler Perry, who like owns all his shit, created his own studio. I think that's just what he did to get, his. Now you can not like his messages where people say, "Oh, he always make the dark skin men look bad and the light skin men the saviors," and they make the dark skin women whatever he does in his movies. That's valid criticism if you want to have those criticisms. But I don't know. I just don't know if it's like. I'm trying to think. I don't know.
So to clarify, I think I should say, I think it's more for the highest of the highs. Maybe every average person know, like, because a lot of people, they one hit wonders and shit like that. I'm talking about people that's consistently in media, consistently. I think it takes a certain level of doing things. So let me ask you this: how do you feel?
Go ahead. You think it's both people, right? You think it's black and white?
Yeah.
You think they do this shit like Brad Pitt to Tom?
Yeah, we seen a bunch of white people on the list too.
What you talking about? On what list?
On the Epstein.
I'm not talking about the Epstein. I'm talking about.
But I think that's all.
Hollywood making them do whatever.
I think that's a glimpse. I think the Epstein shit is a glimpse of how we see the average, not even average, most of celebrities kind of participate in shit like that. That's what I thought that was a glimpse in. Am I right or 100% accurate in that? Maybe not. But I seen black people on that list. I seen a bunch of white people on that list. And I think white people have their own things and shit that they have to acquiesce to. And I think they have to lose certain morals and things over time to be able to fit into these boxes that they want them to fit into. For instance, Beyonce probably don't want to make music about single ladies and shit like that, but she got to, because that's about what's selling. She got, but that's on the lowest level of things. But I was gonna ask you a question. How do you feel about majority of our notable black men and a good majority of women being from the boule or frats and fraternities. When you look at
Yeah,
Malcolm
I've
X,
heard you talk about this before, but I don't really know too much about the perception of these
Harvey's,
things.
it's a not all of them, not all of our black celebrities are part of these fraternities, but a good majority of them, over like 60 to 7% of the biggest celebrities are part of these fraternities or some fraternity we might not even know about. May not be the Illuminati and the go-to one that we all think about, but they be a part of these certain fraternities. Do you think that's
What was just connections?
exactly? But what you don't think is you think is natural connections.
You think it's a more of a sinister thing, like
I,
underneath it?
the higher you get, of course. I don't even know if it's sinister. I think it's just a certain level, just how they had embarrassment rituals in the beginning.
Mhm,
That's the part of the culture. If you're trying
mhm.
to jump to certain levels, you're gonna have to do certain things. The fact that they charge college kids 2,000, 3,000, however much it costs, plus the
Yep.
embarrassment fee to get in, that's showing that you are show
Embarrassment fee.
that's showing you like you shed your blood, sweat, and tears and your energy because money, nigga, that's next to your blood. Like that's a part of giving a sacrifice to them in the jump. That's a sacrifice.
Mhm.
You embarrassing yourself to even get a chance. You paying to get a chance. You might even get denied. I don't think that level or that culture just stops in the entry level. I think it becomes grander the higher you get. And let me try to pull up stuff.
So you say 60% of people are in a fraternity? Real Music said most people didn't even go to college, bro. Come on.
You thinking about rappers. And they still be a part of fraternities for sure. They be Bloods and Crips. Did you forget about that one? Oh, got you. That's a fraternity. That's a fraternity. You ain't know that, huh? I know a little bit, bro. I don't just be talking
He
sometimes.
said no, period. He's talking about everybody in general. So do you think
Michael Jordan, Will Ferrell, Brad Pitt, Ashton Kutcher,
Michael
Eli
Jordan's part of a
Manning.
fraternity?
Yeah.
I know Shaq's a
Yolanda
part of a
Adams,
fraternity.
Maya Angelou. Let me see. I need to pull up images because I. Okay, here we go. Fuck, I don't be knowing people's name. Why I do that? But it's a good Mabule. That's all the presidents for sure. Including Obama. I just seen his wife. That's what made me think of that. Steve Harvey, Toni Morrison, uh, Wanda Sykes. Like most of our people, I swear, not the rappers, of course. Alicia Keys. I don't know if I said her name already.
So, but the overall, the overall point of the fraternity thing is you're saying that
Jada Pickett.
they're in it because of, or they're using it for opportunity. Like, what's the thing with the fraternity again? What was like the question?
um,
Do I think they're like getting their ass paddled, like to get in,
so not necessarily
or
that, but to show there's an entry, like there's a certain gatekeepers and certain gates you have to get to be in the Hollywood culture. If I'm trying to lead the witness or get to a certain level of conclusions. If you can see that how most people that get into it be from some type of fraternity, whether you're a politician, a celebrity, and even most artists, they all come from some type of fraternity. Why is that? Why do they have to have this oath to something for them to even make it? Even Bloods and Crips, these niggas be deep. Them like do not underestimate the gang ties of America and how they are sold in. Some of the highest niggas are sold in with politicians and motherfuckers. Don't get that don't get that twisted. But I don't think that's random. And then when I start talking about the integrity of these fraternities, obviously Bloods and Crips is easy to pinpoint. The shit that they make you do, getting jumped in, maybe having to shoot somebody.
murder somebody?
Then we talk about Hollywood. Oh, they do sacrifices. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it's not that deep. But knowing the things I know, like I said, when you talk about how they already treat the entry level fee of these fraternities and you have to pay something to even get a chance, I don't think it stops. And I think that's a part of the culture and integrity of these frats. And the fact that all of our celebrities have to go through something like that to even be considered, I think that's something. And I don't think all of them. Let me clarify. Majority of them, because I think there are celebrities that make it that's independent and things like that. And they don't get pushed like that. Cat Williams always on his shit. He ain't never get pushed like that. Niggas that be on their shit, they don't get publicized and shit like that. Unless you got ties with certain industries and they signing you and shit to market you. But most niggas who, like, what you mean, like who?
Cat Williams' last special was asshole, boy. God damn. That bitch, he started talking about chicken for like 10 minutes. Oh, this whole trash.
So
we gotta cut this off.
So that's my thing. I think there's gatekeepers.
But you don't think like people just like it's more like a it's like an advantage to be a part of something that someone also relates to. So it's kind of like you're this, I'm this. Oh shit, I'll hire you, or like a networking type of thing. He's like, oh, you have to go through this to be. You don't think like the coincidence that there's so many is just because like, oh shit, girl, you what do girls do? You're a skiwi, whatever it is. You're that, I'm that. Hey, link up. You know what I'm saying? Or you think it's like, oh, you know, you have to go through this to get to this. Like when it comes even with the rich people, it's like I was watching some old guy who was somebody he went to Harvard in like the 1950s. He said there was like underground societies and this and that. Like we know that, like my dad went here. Oh, my dad paid this to do this, that. I'm not saying that's not real. I know obviously hazing and all kind of embarrassment shit is there. But like I feel like a lot of those things people do because they're looked at as stepping stones, right? Like even not in fraternity, just even like where you go to school. Like Harvard as a whole could be looked at as like a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like a you go to Harvard, you go to Yale, you go to this, you go to whatever like entry level thing.
You're an alumni. You're a part of that
I got to
culture.
be a part of, to get to that thing is like, I mean, that could be it as well. So like who? So like, I mean, LeBron James. That's like I mean, if you want, you obviously we could. Like I'm not even trying to like dispute what you're saying. Like I could see how you could come to that conclusion. Like when you just throw out like LeBron James. Obviously LeBron James was like talented right out of high school. Some people's talent supersede from Bryce's analogy. There are people who have talent that could supersede having to go through whatever. Just because kind of like undeniable at that point. Like even Shaq being a part of a fraternity, I think whether he was part of one or not would have superseded Shaq being Shaq.
So people gonna, like you just said, being a part of a Harvard is still a part of that. Like there's a certain standard, there's a certain ilk that you must represent.
Yeah.
When he signs these big contracts, he becomes a part of these mega corporations where he can't really say shit. There's like he said something about China. What happened? Tried to counsel the nigga. Shut the fuck up. When you talk about black people, keep that shit shallow. Don't offend people. Same with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan said it. I gotta sell shoes. I can't be in this political shit. That's directly from Nike.
Uh-huh.
That Michael Jordan probably wanted to say shit, but Nike said, "You too big. That's too controversial. We're not playing that game."
Yeah.
So that's his frat. That's his fraternity. But I will say this: is every fraternity bad? Is every fraternity making people twerk and shit like that and do nasty shit? Probably not.
Yeah.
But for some reason, with Hollywood, and I see a lot of satanic energy, a lot of satanic playing and things like that, a lot of deity worship, a lot of worldly shit, it fits the narrative of, I believe that's a part of their culture as well. A woman said it, and you rarely see it. I seen this girl talk about Twitter. She like on Twitter, I'm so glad I left fraternities. It was the best thing I ever did. And I was like, I've never seen someone really talk about that because you always get the good about it. She was like, I no longer identify with God no more. I started to separate and value that more than anything and shit like that. And that's just a part of it. You lose your identity. You start to cherish and worship that culture. And who knows if that's a good enough culture. If that culture is not a good culture, bro, he's leading you down the wrong paths in a sense. So, like I said, I don't think it's cut and dry. Every celebrity has been through some shit. And every celebrity had to go through gay worship. But I see how the baby move, Birdman, I should say. And then I see how P. Diddy move. and how they move predatory and how they like to push the issue on young men because they know that's a part of. I don't think that's a coincidence, my guy. We see the gay culture. We see men that really like talk about it, but then they be kind of scared to talk about it because they know it's a gay cult even in the rap industry. So maybe that may call me crazy, but the fact that it's been niggas talking about that shit since the early YouTubes till now, it can't be a fucking coincidence. Niggas used to point, oh, why the fuck is Lil Wayne kissing Birdman? And niggas that come up with their own shit, but
This is daddy.
yeah, nah, that shit wild. But then you see shit that they actually say. You'll hear certain statements that they say, and you be like, nah, that's even crazy. And you add on him kissing a nigga in the mouth, and then he say shit like that. They be like pause worthy, but this nigga ain't even looking to say pause. He ain't even thinking that shit was wild. And we see P. Diddy do shit like, and I think that's a part of the culture. Real music. What's your argument? Let me see what you're trying to say. Yeah, that's business. It's more than business when you can't be yourself no more, when you can't speak freely. Because the amendment say you can speak freely. Now, is that always the wisest thing to do? You can argue that. But I feel like they be they be pushing shit.
Well, I think it's different. Yeah, you can speak freely under like the federal constitution, but because of my private company, you can't speak so freely they could start fucking up my money. Like LeBron don't speak on China because LeBron don't think China doing fucked up shit. LeBron don't speak on China because China puts billions of dollars into Nike's pocket, which is important in his pockets. You know what I'm saying?
So
like,
don't
we
they
know
make
why
you
he's not talking about China?
Doesn't they don't they like tie you down or like even make you
like
somewhat of a puppet?
Like a lot of people have shit going on at work that they ain't gonna speak about because they you gotta look out for your livelihood at the end of the day. There's a lot of people. There's like regular people everyday society do that.
To a certain degree, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think it's to the same degree because you can speak freely to your friends. You can speak freely on Twitter to the most part.
Like if I had a Nike deal, right? Like we can criticize. People can criticize. Like you see, like the Fox people or whatever. They criticize. Like people on the right. They criticize LeBron, right?
I guess.
But it's also shit that them niggas don't talk about because they have an interest in X, Y, and Z as well. Like you're always gonna kind of go to your interest. Like at the end of the day, if I had a $1 billion deal with Nike as a person, do I really give a fuck enough about what China's got going on and what they're doing to not speak out against them?
Hush money.
Yeah, you're not.
Hush money. Because that go with many other things too. Is $1 billion enough for me to speak on the drug issues that's going on in the black community or shit like that? Even for a lot of black men don't like to speak of like holding black women accountable because they know that affect their pockets.
Yeah, it's things that people won't talk. It's things people won't say. Yeah.
And to
now
me,
you can say maybe that they're I don't know if they're saying morals are compromised. I mean, I guess you could say I guess that'd be a morals argument. I guess
because
I feel like people compromise every single day, and the regular people.
And guess what? You make a great point because I think regular people are forced to be in a rat race and forced against their will to do things that they don't want to do. And it sucks. It's ass. And I think the people that's above do the same shit as we do. Yeah. To a different degree. They are part of the rat race just like us. And they got their own versions of shit that they got to do that they don't like to do. That's my point.
Yeah.
If you're gonna play in the rat race, there's a certain level of compromise you're gonna have to make. If you don't want to play in the rat race, there's some trade-offs you gotta take there too. Going out there and getting on your own, fighting the wilderness and shit like that. There's trade-offs for that too. But you're right. There is a compromise that people have to do. And I think a lot of people wouldn't like that compromise. And I think a lot of people would be dissatisfied that the American dream not so easy no more and that they have to compromise so much. I think a lot of people argue that. And then I think, like I said, you look at the celebrities, I bet they do a lot of compromising too.
It's like, I just thought about my head because I was thinking like, well, people from the right, when they talk shit about LeBron, it's like a lot of people from the right, they won't say nothing negative at all about Trump. Even if Trump do something really fucked up, they wouldn't even think about it because they know, like Fox News did. I think Fox News did a thing during the election. They said like, no, we don't think the election was rigged. Well, they started losing viewers in droves. And after that, they was like, okay, we're not gonna really say nothing bad about Trump. Like whatever he does, fuck it, whatever. Mm-hmm. You got to make your, what do you want to, what do you want to do?
But a lot of these people become a slave to the game, become slave to money, and don't no longer have their standards and morals and boundaries anymore, right?
Yeah.
And I think the higher you get in the game, the nastier it gets because money is no longer an issue because we got the world at our feet. Like once you make 20, 50 million, I mean, you can buy any fucking thing essentially. So
Let's think about LeBron. I wonder once LeBron, well, no, he probably wouldn't because he wants to own the NBA team. He still wants to be in the mix. Though I think you see a lot of people when they do get out of these organizations, you start seeing them speak so freely. Now they're not attached to these things. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. Okay. I was in the NBA for 10 years. I made $100 million. Now I'm not in the NBA no more. I don't want to be a part of it. I just want to live my life. I got my 20 million, 30, 45 million, whatever. Then they start talking. You start hearing them saying certain things. I was about to say maybe LeBron do that, but LeBron, no, he still wants to be a part of it. I'm sure he still wants to be a part of Hollywood. He still wants to own a team eventually. So maybe, he won't do that. So,
but that's about it. It'll be a good transition. I had a question for trade-offs. I had another one for y'all. I feel it's
here we go.
better than last week's.
Okay, here we go.
Would you rather?
Uh-oh.
And this is speaking to people's psychology, so think wisely.
Okay. It's for everybody y'all in the chat too. Y'all can answer as well.
Would you rather be an individual by yourself that's successful or slightly or even more successful in the group, but you're not the face and you're not giving like notoriety for being famous or for being like the trailblazer for that, whatever.
Okay. So pretty much you're like, would I rather be, I'm trying to think of like a person I can name it to, but I can't think of nobody. Solo successful or a part of a successful group?
But don't get credit for it. And
But am I still rich and shit like that? I was thinking those type
you're
of
rich,
bitches.
but you're like you're in the background. No one probably even noticed you for that and shit like that.
But I'm rich.
Yeah, you may be even more rich in the group than you are by yourself.
I'd rather do the group then.
But you may not have the celebrity power, you may not have that notoriety and things like that.
I'd rather be rich and not famous than famous and rich. Less security concerns, less all that type of shit. I don't want people to know I'm rich.
What if you feel like you were supposed to be the leader of that, but somebody else kind of got all of it?
I can see. I think that's where your ego.
But you still eating. You still eating.
That's where your ego coming to play. You're like, nah, I gotta be the face of this shit. I can get it. Like, I guess, like, say I invented the cure for cancer. Let's say I invented the cure for cancer, right? And all these people try to hop on. They put themselves in the front. I can see how I might be like, nah, bitch, I cure cancer. I need to be the person in the front. I can see how maybe, but
I want that cancer cure to be named after me.
Yeah, like I need that shit to be named after me, But in your scenario, I probably would still be cool with the. I mean, like I said, it's for like not even as an ego because you did do it. Like it didn't like you didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I can see why you'd want to like be like, I'm the front person for this. You know what I'm saying? This is my shit. Like Elon Musk probably ain't making no Teslas. He probably got the money for it, but like he's looked at as the guy.
Like Apple, like
things.
just like they say with the dude from Apple,
like Steve Jobs or whoever. Like you ain't making shit, but you're the guy. You know what I'm saying? I can see why. I can see, but I guess it depends.
I guess the ultimate from that would it make you want to leave if you didn't get
it's
credit
like this,
and shit like that?
It's like this. Would you rather be Mark Zuckerberg or Dustin Mikowski?
Who's Dustin Mikowski?
Exactly. You know the fuck that is. He was like the third person on Facebook. He's worth like $14-15 billion. It's like he's still rich as fuck. He's a major part of Facebook, but he don't got to deal with the public backlash about Facebook. He got to deal with none of that shit. He just off living his life.
So this is
with billions of dollars.
So this will amplify the understanding of the question a little bit more. Would you rather be Shaq and get your rings by yourself, or have to be like Kobe and be like, all you had to rely on Shaq?
See, in that circumstance, I'd probably rather be Shaq, like by myself.
But you get more rings. Shaq ain't get as many. Let's say Kobe or whoever. Let's say let's use the Spurs. The Spurs stayed together
where Greg Popovich may got the credit, even though Tim Duncan should have got it, or like Tom Brady. One of them, either the coach could have got the credit, the defense could have got credit, Brady could have got credit. Who knows? They're a great team. They stuck together though, and they kept winning rings. Or you break up like a Kobe and Shaq because you rather prove it on your own and not get as many rings. Similar to what KD has done, similar to what Kyrie said, the reason he left LeBron. Like, would you do that?
If I leave and go get more rings, and not more rings, but just get my solo rings, I feel like that may be better for my legacy.
But what if you never get any rings?
But see, that's
versus like
that's
you with a fucking
if I don't get
king.
no fame, then it's like I need to stay over there. You know what I'm saying?
I think I'll stay. I think I'll stay whether I was the second fiddle the whole time. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't care, bro. We getting rings. Like I would be like Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen showing a little salt and be like, "Oh, Jordan not to go no more because he want a little credit for being a reason." But I wouldn't mind being that, bro. I can't lie to you. I'm not that dude that's like, I gotta go get it on my own just to prove to y'all. Like, nigga, I know what it takes to be a champion. Nigga, you can't do it by yourself. I'm not about to play into y'all little dumb games and trying to make it seem like.
But it do feel like you get more like your legacy wise, you're more revered than when you do it with a group of people. Like if KD was able, he won them rings with Golden State, right? If KD was able to leave and go win 2 more, people would highlight those 2 more that he won by himself. Now, he's never going to be by himself, but with Golden State more than they would with those Golden State rings. You know what I'm saying?
But that's because of a certain circumstances of how he went and won those rings.
I'm not a big basketball guy. Maybe Ward, who's Mr. Basketball, he could probably enlighten me. But like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he has 6. Didn't he win 3 by himself? Am I tripping? He won 3 by himself in Milwaukee.
He won a few by himself,
and then 3 with the Lakers with Magic on them. What do you think is more fulfilling to him? The one he won with a bunch of other Hall of Famers, or the 3 he won? Which I'm not saying that it wasn't Hall of Famers. Maybe he had like Oscar. I don't know what the fuck he had, but he was still like not a part of that Lakers team.
Ego wise, you could be like, "Oh, I led the Milwaukee Bucks," but bro, you had a great team around you if you really won a championship. That's the ultimate thing. Hakeem the Dream from the Rockets.
He won one in Milwaukee. Okay.
The same point though. Is that one ring like? Is that one ring? Does he like cherish that more than some of the other ones because he got the by himself?
Like Giannis. Like Giannis winning 1 ring with Milwaukee. Who the fuck would ever thought they would have won a ring? You was talking shit the same year they won a ring. Now if Giannis going to win 3 more with the Warriors, that one is still probably gonna be looked at as like,
oh, that's because that's cheesy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's because that's a cheesy
ring.
I'm saying kind of organic, like how Kobe and Shaq got together. It's like Kobe was a rookie, he was unproven, so like how it wasn't like the rings was respected by Kobe for sure. Like even with Pimpin, his rings was respected. Even with Larry Bird and the center, I forgot his name, but that center is looked at as like one of the best. Not Bill Walton, but
don't you think?
I forgot his name.
Don't you think? Do you think Scottie Pippen? Listen, I'm not a big basketball guy, so I could be wrong. Do you think Scottie Pippen is severely? Let me ask you this about Scottie Pippen. Do you think Scottie Pippen, due to him being on Michael Jordan's team, is severely overrated because of that, or because he's in Michael Jordan's shadow, is severely underrated? Like I can say anything about Draymond Green. Is Draymond Green that great? Or is it just like Steph? Like what is it with these? Like I don't know. What is it with?
I think he's great. Do I think he could have did what Michael Jordan did? Do I think he could have led a team?
Well, he don't got to win 6, but could he win like 1 or 2 by himself? Like is he? I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
If he was playing like the Jordan role and he had a second fiddle, possibly. But to me, it's like if I'm pimping, bro, I play great defense.
Mm-hmm.
I play great offense.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say the Bulls without saying my name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a part of the best brand in the NBA right now.
Best team.
Why do I give a fuck about? Because it's not like you're going to go do it by yourself. And I think a lot of dudes kind of got caught up in like, I need to go do it. Nah, nigga, you ain't. Charles Barkley tried to team up with other niggas. Clyde Drexler and teamed up with other niggas. Like, niggas do it. Maybe not asking to get traded and shit, but let's be real. So I think I'm gonna stay. I think building like I like how we built Summer Creek and like it was somewhat of a legacy. Nigga, you built something. I don't want to just walk away from it just because I wasn't the main
considered
do
the
want to
main
ask you about
dude.
that. I was thinking about that today. Speaking of that, you saw on Facebook. I won't put too much of our information out, but you saw on Facebook that they finally said, "Hey, class reunion scheduled for this date." I was thinking about this. I was thinking about myself. Now that we've been out of high school for those amount of years who were at class reunion, are you content with where your life is at this point in your life, going into a class reunion? Like, obviously, everybody probably feels like they could do more, but like, are you like, I think I'm at a good place for a class reunion type? You know what I'm saying? Like, I made progress in my life to something like that.
I think it's similar to the conversation dude we just had. I don't give a
We in
fuck.
Texas.
I think it's similar to what we just said. I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm surviving. I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the most important thing about a 10-year. Like, nigga, I got my mind. I'm still sane.
Yeah.
We still look good, bro. I don't, what, am I a
I was
millionaire?
supposed to pull up that Drake line, man. I'm supposed to make niggas go through security clearance. God damn it!
Maybe in a 20-year. Maybe in a 20
I'm doing
year.
good. I'm doing good, but I'm just saying I'm supposed to make niggas go through security clearance to get in this fucking reunion.
I feel like I still feel like I'm doing good. I feel like
I know we're doing good. I'm just saying, like, I don't know how to explain it. I can say I'm probably doing better than a lot of people that are probably gonna be there. I feel like a lot of people probably ain't doing good in life. Life's tough for a lot of people out here.
that's what I'm gonna say. Like, when we can start ranking shit, I ain't gonna be too far at the bottom. I rise in class rank.
Yeah, I'm elevated into the class hierarchy. But I always think about shit like that when you like go into like. But I feel like in 2022, like in this day and age, I feel like class reunions they're not entirely stupid, but they're kind of stupid. Because like I gotta know everything y'all got going on just by social media standards, just see y'all shit.
Bro. It's a
But
lot
like
of
when I
people
see
don't
you in
know.
person, there's a lot of people I don't know, but I also really don't give a fuck. But you gotta see people like, oh shit, how you? Oh man, how you? Oh shit, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna do that. It's gonna be cool, but like I don't know. They say it's a 2-day thing. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck we're gonna do in these.
I think that
these 2
shit
days.
fun, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's
What
like
we gonna do in these 2-day things? What are we doing?
I think that shit cool. I ain't gonna lie. I like it because it's like, bro, you get to reminisce, you get to go back and like you don't get that much in life, bro, to go back and just think about the good old days. Like that shit fun, bro. You get 2 days to drink and have fun with your old friends. And it's gonna be a lot of people you haven't seen before.
You never know. You might get some new relationships out of 10 years. You might be like, oh shit, you do this, I do this. You might get, you know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of shit that could
It's like
possibly
this
happen.
fraternity, man. It's connections. You know what I'm saying? We all part of the alumni, man.
That's technically very true.
But nah, we'll see. We'll let y'all know how it go whenever it take place and how it's supposed to take place. I wonder if it's like, because I don't know those dates, but is that like, are they gonna try to say like, oh, come to the football game, like on some like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I want to go to the football game. Like, I don't know if I'm trying to do that. Unless they're gonna put a thing on the field and be like, when he was here, he was a all districts. Like, you gonna do all that? I might be like, all right, I'll take that. Come on, give it up for you.
Podcaster.
Give it up for me. Give it up for me. Give it up for me, man. Give it up for me a little bit in the crowd.
Mattress firm top salesman.
I'll let this nigga put all the information in the world. Oh, goddamn. Cut the damn thing. Cut the damn podcast off. Jesus Christ.
My bad, big dog. Mattress Max.
He's still going. Just move on.
I was trying to switch it.
No, we good. Move on.
Shoe salesman.
No, we good. Just move on. We good. But nah, that'll take place. That'll be fun. See what happens with that. See how that all goes. But I was asking, like, with the 10-year thing.
No, it's gonna
how
be
you
fun.
felt about your life being in 10
I
years
mean,
after high school.
I mean, I don't think I even answered the question, honestly. Content? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I still got some more 10Xing to do. I feel like, fuck this bullshit, man. I feel like I can go crazy right now, so
yeah,
it gotta be a little patient. Like, I'll speak on some shit. I bought some iPhones, man. I'm trying to flip. So it's like, I'm trying to do some shit, man. And that shit, you can do that shit consistently. Keep putting money back into the shit that you already started. Because, like, let's be real. Once you make that initial $200-300 investment, however much you put in, if you just keep recycling that 200 turning 500-600, whatever, you're gonna see that shit compound. So
That's what I'm trying to focus on right now, bro. So it's like, I mean, if you know like life and be honest and patient, like I'm at a good point because I know where I'm heading.
Yeah.
But do I wish I was already there so we can get past the questioning,
No,
get
I was pulling
past
up
the
in the
little
Rolls Royce. So you
yeah,
heard, what's up? Beep, I'm here.
100% past the doubt, not having to worry. Y'all already at 20 mil. Like, oh, what more do I need? Like, yeah, of course. But I also feel like I'm on that trajectory just
Like
because
Charles Edward Cheese probably pull up good to the reunion.
he pulled up
He
fantastic.
pulled up like, what's up? I'm here. Who y'all? What's going on?
Charles took at least 4 bitches that used to shit on him home. He was like, you know what? I ain't gonna wife y'all, and that's my revenge. But we gonna have fun tonight.
Yeah, I'm a finance tonight. Let's go.
My nigga Najee, don't let him get no million. Don't let him get no money.
Don't let him get no money.
I believe his shit list is still transferred in his notes. That shit been in his iCloud just updating.
That shit gonna be fucking brutal.
Well, now I'm trying to go crazy with
He said
this.
try sports cars, bro. I do like 1,200 like every 13 to 15 days.
Like flipping them?
I guess you could flip. Yeah, I'm sure you can flip them hoes.
What's the initial investment? Like what you got auction? What you doing? Like how you get a sports car for a decent price? I know you can drop some money on it, but you holding a lot of profit and you holding a lot of what do you call that? Holding a lot of money in one product, and you gotta hope that whole sell. You better hope that whole functional. Oh, you do auction. So yeah, I gotta get an auction license in Texas. You need land, and some more shit. So I was
looking get an auction license.
Yeah, I was looking into it. You definitely need an auction license because I want to flip some cars, but you can flip them by like negotiating people.
You talking about cards though?
Oh, cards
like rookie card, like LeBron James rookie card, and like shit like that.
Cards.
You about cars?
My bad.
Like, about cars. No.
Trying sports cars, bro. I've been seeing people eat on that shit. Like so. What do you like? Do y'all go out and like go? What do y'all do? Like garage sales? Because I see people do it on garage sales. They'll find people, or do y'all actually go to the stores and just be buying packs and flipping through them?
Packs is like seeing which one is which one. No, we not rich, big dog.
No. I'm just trying to double up.
I'm still looking for a financier. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I'm using what I've been given and trying to be smart. That's all.
Yeah.
I ain't being completely stupid. Nah, I wish we working on it. Now get into the Pokemon. Now, all cars in general have their value, but I'm trying to figure out what's y'all main approach in trying to buy them for low and then flip them. Because the most I've seen is people like they'll go to a garage sale and a person just have a pack and they just have to. Oh, I guess they do be having. Okay, I'm thinking.
I saw a video of
they be having auction for them hoes.
I see the kid was at a convention and he bought a Charizard or something. He bought like $600 for that hoe.
Yeah, but that you buying it high already, so you gotta hope that it keep doubling, and that's gonna take time.
What am I talking about for him? I'm talking about for the seller, probably like. You would be the seller in that instance.
Got you. Mint condition, complete editions. Yeah, see, that's the thing. So I guess you would like there are like auctions online and shit that you can buy boxes of cards and shit that's like it's completely random, but they can have them in there.
If I would have knew that shit, bro, I used to have a shit ton of Pokemon cards, holographic, all that shit. I had like a wheelbarrow full of them hoes. I don't know what the fuck happened to the wheelbarrow, but are Yu-Gi-Oh cards valuable? I used to have Yu-Gi-Oh cards, all that type of shit.
They probably valuable. It just depends on
Rest in peace to the man who created Yu-Gi-Oh, man. Rest in peace to him.
It just depends on what card you got.
You used to play Yu-Gi-Oh?
I used to be a coach.
Hold on. A coach? We be the coach.
We'd be on the bus, bro, and because we had long bus ride because I was in a magnet school, so they go around different. So it'd be like a 2-hour bus ride before you even school start. You had to wake up like at 5 in the morning to get on the bus.
God damn.
Niggas that had the cards on the bus, and I knew how to play, bro, but I was just better at.
Bro, I begged my grandma when that shit came. I said, "Please, grandma, we be playing at school after school." I told her she bought me that thing, put that bitch around my wrist. You know what I'm talking about? The thing they had?
Yeah. I'm laughing.
I had that motherfucker. I used to be because they ain't had this shit, right? So they playing on the ground and shit. Bitch. You know what the fuck niggas say? by the blue. What the fuck did the nigga say? He's like, the heart of the cards. I'm bottom on that motherfucking ass. Why is love that shit? That was a good old days, man.
I be looking over the nigga's shoulder. I be like, nah, you gotta play that one. That's it right there. We'll be playing for cards too. Like we'll bet for a card or whatever.
Haha, you've activated my trap card. Like, why is love that shit?
No
that shit
bullshit.
was amazing. That shit was amazing.
Niggas used to know how to play that shit. Like for real.
My
for
top
real.
shit, and then we get about it. It's like 2 hours. I used to love playing with Yu-Gi-Oh cards and battling motherfuckers Yu-Gi-Oh. Beyblades, those were the great. You used to play Beyblades or no?
We played marbles. I didn't have Beyblades.
Oh man, they had like the fake arena. You let that bitch rip. You can modify them hoes. You want to get the one that's weighted correctly at the bottom. And
did you used to play marbles? Did you used to collect marbles?
No, I didn't do that.
Really, bro? We used to collect marbles like a motherfucker.
That's on the 1950s.
Bro, through 2000, bro, we was collecting marbles, bro. Niggas had all type of marbles, bro. We used to play the fuck out that hoe. I flipped
electronically. Comics at $40 investments turned to $3,000.
Damn.
Yeah, I need to fuck all that. I respect that. I need to get on that goddamn. Oh, I made $2 million. I know it went down now, but I need to get back to where that 12 million came in at.
That's flying. That's flying low.
No, I know that. I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying I need. I like these investment ideas, but I need to go to that.
The big million. One.
Yeah,
you gotta have some money to get that much returns. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We got some, like we get the little split. We got something. We trying to figure out what to do. See, I just be so. I ain't trying to talk about too much, but me, I'm just too scared to really touch. I'm like, let me just let that sit there for a little while. Let me see what I can do with that in a minute. Hold on, real quick. Yada. But yeah, anyways, that's all we got, man.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I remember Yu-Gi-Oh days. That was my prime time of stealing. I used to go to Walmart and bag the fuck out them all. I used to steal the fuck out them cards, bro. I swear to God, I remember them days.
Yu-Gi-Oh, that was a good days, man. That'd be like fucking 3rd or 4th grade or some shit like that. The good old days. But now, this is all we got. Appreciate you guys for watching today, being here. I think our peak was like 14, so salute to everybody that was watching. Like I said, if you weren't there last time, sad to announce. Let's see. Damn, bitch ain't gonna play. Versus is dead. No more verses.
We got one more left.
Oh, you got one. Yeah, we got one more. This night, I'm not even a part of it. It's Wardu and Bryce, Mary J versus Mariah
That boy
Carey.
Wardu embarrassed. He ain't full up today.
Now he was here with the Mic Drop podcast a couple of times.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm tripping.
Yeah,
I ain't see his regular shit.
But yeah, that's the last one, and I'm done with the versus shit. It's a wrap. It did do numbers. That one did do pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. But it's just not fun anymore. Like, there's no. I can't think. Like, even the Biggie and Tupac one doesn't even really get me out of bed. It's like it's cool to do, I guess, but it's on like.
I don't know, man. We're gonna figure something else out though.
Now I'm saying this now. I could be like, fuck it, let's do Michael Jackson versus Prince. I don't fucking know, but whatever. We'll figure it out. But I think that the next one might be the last one.
Hey man. Send that thing different.
He locked it in, man. He locked it. He said he locked it. We'll know though. We'll see what it is. It might not be, the same split. Like
I don't care. The man, hey, he different. I appreciate you, big dog.
Might not be the split like Larry. That nigga Bryce was happy that day. But now we ain't gonna talk about too much. Salute everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all for being here. Appreciate y'all for subscribing and all that good shit like that. Man, we'll see y'all next week for the next podcast, man.
All that gang shit.
See y'all later, man. It's your boy D Friend and Bryce. That was your podcast. We out. Peace.